نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. تفضل شيخ.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Welcome to the R2F Show. Alhamdulillah, tonight we have a very special show. We're going to be interviewing guests who are followers and believers of a man named Muhammad Qasim. He's a man who claims that he has dreams where he speaks to Allah and Rasul Sallallahu, and that they have commanded him to share his dreams to the world. And some of his followers or people that believe in him actually claim that he is the Mahdi. That's right. You heard correct. There's another person claiming to be the Mahdi and another person claiming to speak to Allah. So we'll get more into that when we talk to our guests. But first, I want to let our new viewers, the people that are coming from the platforms of Muhammad Qasim or some of the followers that are tuning in or anybody else that might be listening, just to explain a little bit who we are as far as R2F and what we do. Our mission very clearly is to help Muslims return to the straight path of Islam. In particular, we specialize in dealing with cult groups, charlatans, people that are trying to defraud the people by using Islam to do that. We are Muslim. Alhamdulillah, we're a Muslim. We're Muslims. We follow Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'at, and we try to our best to get Muslims to follow that as well. So when we say cult groups or Islamic cult groups, we're specifically talking about groups that are using Islam, um, whether they're sincere or not, to deviate people from Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'at. And we are actually experts in this area. We expose the falsehood of cult groups and cult leaders. You could actually say some people refer to us as cult busters. As our name states, return to fitra, we help Muslims return to the true fitra of Islam, which is complete submission to Allah and Rasul Sallallahu and the Quran and the authentic Sunnah, which is defined as Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'at. We have a very unique position in this area because we have direct experience with dealing with cults, with dealing with cult members, with dealing with cult leaders. Many of us, a part of our organization and group, we either been in a cult or we have loved ones that are in a cult or that are still in a cult. So we deal with this actually on a daily basis. So we know what it's like to be in the shoes of people that are in cults or dealing with cults, and we're very familiar with cult tactics and the tactics that leaders of cults actually employ. So we were in those positions before. But alhamdulillah, Allah had guided us away from that darkness, away from the falsehood, and into the light of true Islam, which is submission to the Quran and the Sunnah, and that's it. So before we start, I want let everyone know that like we are here. We are a resource, right? We're here to talk to anybody. If anybody has any questions, if anybody wants to address anything with us, we'll have our contact information going across the screen. You can WhatsApp us. Number is 1-607-624-8100. You can also email us at email r2f@gmail.com. And if there's like we will make all accommodations to help people. We if sisters only want to speak to sisters, we have plenty of sisters in our group that you could deal directly with sisters, so you don't have to talk to any men. So we'll make all the necessary arrangements if anybody needs help or wants to discuss anything. So for those that are listening, that and we ask our guests as well, who believe and follow in Muhammad Qasim in his dreams, we urge you to turn to the Quran and the Sunnah and submit to the Quran and the Sunnah and the authentic Sunnah as has been established for 1400 years. And we will constantly remind everyone, even ourselves, to submit to the Quran and Sunnah. We will submit to the Quran and Sunnah. We'll submit to the authentic Sunnah. We'll submit to what the scholars have consensus on, and we will do that. If we're wrong on something, we'll gladly admit we're wrong. Well, we ask everybody else to do the same as well. If it's not from the Quran and Sunnah, very simply, it's not part of Islam. Period. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our guests who will take turns. They're going to do an opening statement that they want to address everybody, and then after that, we're going to just get right into our interview, inshallah.
Alhamdulillah. So, Nizam and then Sayyid, just introduce yourself and then I'll go afterwards.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Muhammad. I am a science graduate. I have a little business and I'm looking forward to this dialogue.
Inshallah.
I'm Brother Sayyid.
Ahmadu wa nusalli ala Rasul
Yes.
al-Kareem. My name is Sayyid Irfan. I teach at a local university here in Pakistan,
Assalamu
and I've
alaikum.
been following
Waalaikum salam.
Muhammad 15. I've been following since 2015.
Okay.
Introduction about me.
Okay.
Okay.
And my name is Mustafa Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. I am a doctor, podiatry surgeon currently in California. So we're going to start off this conversation, inshallah. So ultimately, we're all here to come down to one point of the truth, right? So I don't want this to kind of turn into a debate. I want this to be like almost like a way where we're all looking for the truth and we want the same thing. So what all unites all of us here today, inshallah, is the kalima, right? La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, right? Alayhi
Thanks.
salatu wasalam. So in the end of the day, we all want the same thing, to find the truth and to go down that path, because this is the difference between iman and kufr. So everything we're going to present today, inshallah, is going to be about, we're going to use the Quran and we're going to use the hadith, right? So unanimously, I just want to paint like a timeline of where we are currently in the Ummah, right? So currently we are 1445 Islamic Hijri, right? So, and most of the scholars, and I would assume that you guys would agree with me as well, that so many minor signs have passed already. And the Prophet said that the first minor sign is my death, alayhi salam, right? And he said from that, there's going to be many multiple minor signs. And then there's going to be a bridge, which that bridge goes into the major signs. And the Prophet said as well that once one of the major signs comes upon us, it's like a bead on a necklace. Once it pops, all the beads starts coming one after another, right? So I just want to bring up this hadith, two hadith. The first one is about the hadith of the 100 year. Every 100 years, Allah sends somebody to revive the ummah, a mujaddid, right? And then as well as this hadith by Muslim and Ahmed ibn Hanbal, it says the prophethood shall remain amongst you as long as Allah wills. He will bring about it an end, following it with the Khalif al-Minhaj Nubuwwah, which is on the rightly guided precepts of prophethood, for as long as He wills. Then He will bring an end to it. Then kingship shall then follow, to remain as long as Allah wills, and then they will come to an end. Then there shall be a monarchy disposition, and Allah will remain as long. It will remain as long as Allah wills, and as long as Allah decrees. Then they will emerge Khalifa ala minhaj nubuwwah, right? So there's 5 stages that the Prophet ﷺ told us from point A to point B, and I would agree that we're all on the last, not the last stage, the 4th stage, right? We're from that military rule going into the Khalifa ala minhaj nubuwwah. So this is just a very important thing to understand where we are in the timeline of things, right? So now I found about Muhammad Qasim, I believe it was about 2 years ago, right? And when I first came across him, some guy on the internet saying that he speaks to that he had the dreams that the Prophet came to him in his dreams. And we all know that if the Prophet comes to somebody in their dreams, then he has actually shown himself in truth, right? That the Prophet said that nobody could, the jinns and the devils cannot take his form in the dreams.
Right.
However, he also claimed that Allah Azza wa Jal is coming to him in his dreams. And I'm like, no way, right? That's absolutely garbage. There is no possible way. So I was on the same thing. I'm like, this guy is definitely lying. However, the only reason I actually entertained the thought was at that specific time, for me specifically, I was studying this ayah in Surah Al-Furqan where it says that when they see you, oh Rasulullah, they take you as a joke, right? And they say, indeed, has Allah really sent this person? And amongst everybody Allah could have sent, He sent this person.
Right.
So that was the ayah I was memorizing at that specific time when I came across Muhammad Qasim. So I said, let me do an investigation. And also in Surah Al-Hujurat it says, وَإِنْ جَاءَكُمْ فَاسِقٌ بِنَبَإٍ فَتَبَيَّنُوا أَنْ تُصِيبُوا قَوْمًا بِجَهَالَةٍ فَتُصْبِحُوا عَلَى مَا فَعَلْتُمْ نَادِمِينَ. Right? So if a fasiq, right? And when you look at Muhammad Qasim, he doesn't have a beard, he doesn't have that, right? So, and I spoke with many scholars, by the way, and many Western scholars. And huge ulama, and they all say, a lot of them when they first saw him and they look at him, they're like, this guy doesn't have a beard. There's no way he's telling the truth, just based on that on physical
Mhm.
appearance, right? So I'm like, okay, that's fair, but let's see what the guy has to say, right? So
So
ultimately,
real quick, what before you get to actually Muhammad Qasim,
yeah,
we'd
yeah.
like to
Yeah.
know a little bit more about like just you guys yourselves. Like, so what before you got there? Like, what's your Islamic background before you got there? Like, were you born Muslim, raised Muslim? You know, like what? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself.
All that I believe all of us were born Muslim.
Yeah, we were all born Muslim, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
So
Now,
And you guys? What about you
Yeah.
alhamdulillah,
guys?
yeah,
Yep. I was one Muslim.
born
yes,
Muslim.
Yeah, we
all of
all
us
born
born
Muslim.
Muslim, alhamdulillah.
Okay, mashallah.
Now, in like so you're born Muslim. That means your parents were Muslim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, have any of you guys attended any like Islamic education?
So Sayyid, I
Yeah,
believe.
so I've studied for 8 years in a madrasa. Yeah, and there's something
Um,
that we call the Dars Nizami here, which gives you a qualification of an alim. So I've studied it for 8 years and I've given all the exams. Madars al
so
Arabiya
you would
is basically
so you
the
would say that
central
you're an
authority
alim.
here, and they basic. I would say
So
I'm a
you're an
talim,
alim,
not an alim, but on paper,
Student.
get the exam.
a
Yeah.
student. Okay,
Student.
all right.
Just like
And
everybody.
like, are you guys all like Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat,
Alhamdulillah, yes.
Sunni Muslims?
Yeah,
Sunni Muslim.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay.
Alhamdulillah, yeah.
And like, do you guys follow a specific madhab or anything? Like,
Straight path, brother.
well, yeah, the
I'm
straight path, but there's also a
There's
fiqh as
different
far
madhabs.
as
Yeah. So like I'm personally, my background is
yeah,
Egyptian,
yeah.
right? So I follow the Shafi'i madhab,
mhm.
right? However, again, all the
And
madhab,
yeah, for me it's
so all the way
Hanafi. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
Hanafi, yeah.
Hanafi for.
Hanafi, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, a lot of us come from a Hanafi background too,
yeah,
as well.
Mm.
And now, so the one brother Saeed now is out of you guys. Are you saying like, would you guys say that he's like the most learned out of you guys here? So like, if we're gonna defer as like as far as Islamic questionings or
Hamza.
proofs and all that, that's the guys that because you like specifically asked for the brother from Pakistan, Irfan, brother Irfan to attend. And I'm assuming since that he attended the madrasas in Pakistan, it's because he's got knowledge and is going to provide support or for
I
whatever
mean,
you guys'
we'll
positions
all
are.
speak. We'll all speak.
Yeah.
All three of us will be speaking, inshallah.
Okay.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I just want to finish my last point, inshallah, about the dream specifically. What was
Mm-hmm.
the overall arching theme? And I don't know. Quick question: have you guys actually like watched any of his dreams or did any?
Yep,
research?
I read 90% of that PDF book you guys have on your website.
Perfect. And then, if I ask you a question overall, this is from what I got. But what is, if you can sum it up for me, what is Muhammad Qasim's main message overall, like in the dream?
The main message from me interpreting the books
No, just like
from his
from his dreams, from what he said. What is
well,
his,
he pushes one message, which is to avoid shirk in all of
Right.
its forms,
the virtue? Yes.
right?
Right. Yeah.
And he very
Yeah.
clearly in his dreams says, without specifically saying, "I am the Mahdi."
So like without directly saying it, yes, it's
No, he
if
doesn't.
if you have, go ahead, say it. It's inferred if you have some type of understanding.
I'm just
of,
saying
like,
Right.
he's never claimed to be.
Right. So I mean, anybody with common sense that would read any of those books, they would say that okay, this guy is having dreams that are telling him the Mahdi. So like, what is the message that you guys get from his dreams? Like, what is the message that you guys are sent to promote, or like what is it from you guys? Because like we can have our own interpretation. Like
Right.
real overall from my predictions, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this guy's a fraud, straight off the top.
Okay, but
That's
what
my
makes you?
interpretation.
So yeah, what
Okay,
makes
so
you
what
specifically?
makes you believe that he's a fraud?
Yeah.
Well, if you go into his dreams, we could go into the details of it. That's
Okay.
I look into the details, and there's a lot of things that look like he's a fraud. That contradict the Quran and the Sunnah.
Like
We're
what?
looking into,
Any
and
specific?
we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that, but
Okay.
we're here interviewing you guys, so we're gonna ask you guys questions, and we're not gonna like we'll get into those different things, and we'll remember the proof in Islamically, and you guys should know this is on the claimant,
Mhm.
right? And you guys are claiming this guy's having true dreams. He's from Allah. He's speaking to Rasulullah. So we're gonna ask you guys questions, and You guys can answer them, and we'll go down that path. Like, we're not here to defend our not belief of Muhammad Qasim.
No,
We should never
100%.
have to do that,
You
right?
you have
Right?
a
As Muslims.
you have a position as well, correct? And when the message came to you, you guys interpreted a certain way. So it is also on you as well to defend your position on why
No,
you
it's
don't
not.
believe.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not on us to
Why is
do
that?
anything because our defense. Only thing we have to defend not believing is the Quran and the Sunnah. If someone
Exactly.
comes to me with the
Then you
Quran
can
and
use
hadith,
you
right?
can use the
We and
Quran
say
and
I don't
Sunnah
believe it, then I have to defend why don't you believe it, right? Or an Islamic position. If
for
someone
sure.
comes to me with a dream and says you got to believe my dream, now let me ask you: if someone comes to you and says you got to believe my
Hold
dream,
on. No, nobody
what does that
nobody is
mean in
forcing
Islam?
nobody's forcing anybody to believe in the
Yeah.
dreams. That's the misconception.
Okay, but you
Oh,
just asked. You said that I have to prove. We have to prove our
No, I said
disbelief in the
defend your
dreams.
position. I said defend your position. That's it. But we'll just continue the
Right.
dialogue. Yeah,
Okay.
continue.
So
Yeah, I have a
like,
question. I have a question real quick,
yeah, go
just to
ahead.
be clear for the audience. The three brothers, you three brothers, do you all believe that Muhammad Qasim is the Imam Mahdi, the chosen Imam Mahdi? Is this y'all
Yes.
understanding and this is y'all firm
Yes, I
belief
do.
as we're
Yes.
currently sitting here talking?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes,
This is our
Make
position.
sure we're
I do.
clear on
That's
that. All right.
correct.
Okay.
But I would
So
also like to bring on record that
mhm.
Muhammad Qasim has never claimed to be Imam Mahdi. And he
But
has
he
said that
inferred it, as
in
we know.
interviews
He
on
inferred
live
it and he
TV.
implied it.
Okay, so and I always want to bring this up, and we're I'm gonna try to get back
No,
on
no, he
track with our
clearly,
questions.
clearly worded it
But
that he's
like,
never going to make a big claim.
Yeah.
And
right.
forget being
So
Imam Mahdi, he said, I will never make a big claim.
so let me
Yeah.
ask you guys this, and like we got to be people that are rational, people that have
100%.
common sense, and I'm gonna say this to you guys. We've been in your position
Mhm.
where you believe something, and you want to blindly follow, and you kind of like let go of reason with
So
certain things. So I'm
can
gonna
can
ask you guys this real clearly, right? Is if Muhammad Qasim, who said that he will never claim to be Imam Mahdi,
Yeah.
has a dream that Allah says, now claim to be Imam Mahdi.
so
Okay.
can
So what
can I
He
happens
won't.
then?
Okay.
can I
So
answer
He
this?
okay,
won't.
according to the hadith, I'll go on there. You could go. According to the hadith, the Mahdi is not an individual who himself will claim to be the Mahdi. The people will recognize him and they will push him towards becoming a Khalifa, and they will
So
understand that
okay.
this man is the Mahdi.
Now, so we're with when you get with like cults and cult leaders, right? They're very tricky with their words. And I've noticed this in all of your guys' content, where you constantly say he has never claimed to be Imam Mahdi. Has he
Okay.
denied being the Mahdi?
So this is perfect. That's a perfect question because he was. I don't know if you saw the interview that he did with Neo TV in Pakistan,
Hmm.
right? If you watched it, he was explaining his dreams in person. He was there, and just the background of just who Muhammad Qasim is in general. He's a very shy, very quiet person, right?
Hmm.
So he does not like to come on the limelight. He does not like to be on the screen in general, right? So he was asked point blank, like, look, you're
Would you
having
claim?
you're
Yeah.
having dreams from Allah, and you're having dreams from the Prophet and all these events are happening, and they asked
Hmm.
him, like, are you going to eventually claim to be the Mahdi? That's the next step, right? He said, no, I would never claim to be that, right?
And
Now,
and
now that's
like question,
say that again. You're breaking out. I can hear you.
I'm asking a very specific question. I'm
Yeah.
not asking about him claiming to be anything. Because, for instance, if I came to you, like for instance, if you asked me, Jaffer, did you rob the store down the street? And I said, I never claimed I robbed the store down the street. Am I answering your question?
In a way, you are, but it's also plausible deniability, right? Because you're saying
Right,
it in a way, yeah, you're saying it in a way where you're not rejecting that claim either, right?
right.
So
So
what,
to get back to my question, so he's never rejected being the Mahdi.
so we actually
He's
point.
he's denied it. He's denied it. I mean, he's come forth and he's also said, "You'll never hear big words from me." So yeah,
He said,
he's not gonna
So
claim that.
I'm an ummati, yani,
according to
peaceful
him, someone
ummati.
that gets dreams from Allah, that talks directly to Allah and Rasulullah, he's telling y'all, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's telling you, his followers, I am not the Mahdi. But
No,
you guys still
no,
believe he is the Mahdi?
no. What he said. So I asked him this question personally, right? Because I'm in
Hmm.
America. I hit him up in Pakistan. And again, this is very important where this is iman and kufr, right? So I want to be very straight with like what we believe. So I asked him like, hey, have you ever had like who's the Mahdi, right? Like if you having all these dreams with not only with Allah, but not only with the Prophet as well, but multiple other prophets in your dreams, right?
Hmm.
So I asked him like, what about the Mahdi, right? He's like, his answer was like, I never actually saw the Mahdi in my dreams, so I don't know. I'm quiet on the subject because I don't know who the Mahdi is, right? I'm only telling people exactly what I've seen, and I don't deviate from it.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the question. I'm not trying to be difficult, but I'm trying to get a clear answer here, and you guys are avoiding it. To be honest,
Not
Well, we
really. I'm
answered
saying
you. We
does
answered you.
has
he
he denied that he's the Mahdi?
no, he
But yeah,
specifically
like
said,
we said, he's been asked point blank,
yeah,
and he said, "I will never make such a claim." So
that's it.
And
that's
then,
your
yeah,
answer.
okay, I'm gonna
That's
move
the answer
on,
he
and
gave.
I hope the audience can see this, and I hope the people that you're following can see this, that you guys are not answering this very clear question.
We've
So,
answered
so
you.
here's some examples. So let me just jump in. Here's some examples of a person denying. Like if they say, if someone asks me, are you the Mahdi? I will say, no, I am not the Mahdi. Okay, something like that.
Actually,
Like,
yeah,
yeah,
there is a dream he posted where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually told him to post a video where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to not that he is not claiming to be the Mahdi. And this video I can send it to you guys after.
No, we don't need to see
So
it because it's answering the same thing. It says you're not claiming a
Yeah.
claim. Like for instance, that's why I use the example of robbing the store down the street. If the cops say to me, if I get on a witness stand and the cops say, "Did you rob the store?" and if I
okay,
my
but
answer
my
is,
question is, have you
"I
heard it
never
verbatim?
claimed it."
Okay, look, have you heard it verbatim from his mouth? You didn't, right?
No, I'm not
So
saying
that's
he claimed it. No, be
Yeah, yeah.
clear. I'm not saying he
that's
claimed
it.
it.
He
I'm saying he didn't. He's not denied that he
Yeah.
is.
yeah, he was quiet on the matter. That's it. When that issue, he just
Right.
stayed quiet on the
So he
matter.
leaves it. He lets you and all his followers believe that he is the Mahdi.
This is so it's not like you
No, no,
you can't say that
he
you
does.
let somebody believe something
Yeah,
and never claim that something. You know what I'm saying? So if I didn't
Again,
never
let's not
said
use the word
something,
claim. Let's not use the word claim. I'm not
okay,
talking about his claims.
sure,
We acknowledge that I have not seen any evidence of him saying I am the Mahdi,
okay.
but
So
I have not
right.
seen
So
anything from him or you guys saying that he is not the Mahdi.
true, because yeah, that he
we
was quiet
believe
on that
that
matter.
he,
Those interpretations are in each person's volition, right?
yeah,
Anybody
Right.
came
yeah,
to these dreams, they have
Yeah.
come to that conclusion on their own
I
Right.
without him
Okay.
saying it. Yeah.
Cool. So like what we
okay. So
talked a
I
little bit
mean,
about
what's the problem with
him
it? I
being
don't see a problem with it if he's not. Yeah.
well.
I don't see a
So
problem with it. You've asked a question, he's answered it. He's answered, and I'm not going to claim to be it. Maybe he knows, maybe he
right.
yeah.
He's
doesn't
not a
know.
claim.
What's
So
the problem with it?
okay,
so like
I
we're
mean, you
looking
have to
at
understand,
the issue.
even when the bear will happen, hold on, let me finish. I asked you guys to
Yep, go
please
ahead.
give me time because I'm having streaming problems. It's going to take
No,
time to
you're
get to you.
okay. I'm sorry.
So please let me finish
We
and then you
interrupt because there's a
continue.
break. There's no sorry. There's a break, and then we think you stopped talking, and that's why we jumped in. So we're sorry about that. Go ahead.
That's the whole problem. That's why I messaged you earlier because I think there's a streaming problem. You guys are all in the US and I'm here in, so there might be a
Yeah.
streaming problem and it might break for you. So
Yep.
anyways, what I'm saying is that if the Mahdi is going to take Baya, is not willing to take it, it means not claiming to be it. He doesn't want that at all. But eventually when he does, it obviously means he knows that he is the Mahdi, right? So you need to understand that some people, they may know or they may not know because we don't know right now. But we are saying that
The
he is the Mahdi, not just based on their dreams, but on a lot of evidence, right? But
Hmm.
when you ask him, he clearly says that I will never claim to be the Mahdi. Forget claiming anything big. Mahdi is way above claiming big things. I'm not going to claim anything big. Forget Mahdi. So it's beyond that. You get the point? So you're looking for a
Yeah.
point blank answer, and the answer that he has never said I'm not the Mahdi. The way he answers it is that he says that I will never claim to be the Mahdi. Second point
Right.
is you need to understand there's a behavior, there's a pattern, doesn't mean it's always so. If four people break traffic signal, it doesn't mean that we're going to punish the fifth one. Hold on, you're going to be punished like this because just because four people act like this. So just
Hmm.
because Just because certain, let's say, politicians use not clear language doesn't mean we're going to punish everyone that doesn't use clear language. And I'm sorry, the example of robbing a store is not a good example because you're setting the wrong precedence of a robber. So it could have been an example. You're coming from a background where you're coming with a lot of distrust, and when you're
Okay.
effective, you
Well,
should
no,
have
no.
an
Well,
open
so
mind.
let me
Come with
chime
a
in here. So
negative
I'll use a better
perspective.
example.
So when
I'll
you
use a
talk
better
about
example to
so
to
yeah,
clarify my point. So maybe
just
not the
let me
robber.
finish. Just let
So
me
if
finish.
someone
Just let me
asked
finish.
me, if someone asked me,
Let him finish,
we're not
Joshua.
gonna let people give speeches. We're gonna ask questions and we're gonna like move on because this point has been established. But to give the example for the audience is that to give a positive example. If someone asked me, "Are you Prophet Muhammad?" Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam?"
Sorry.
and my answer was, "I never claimed to be him." That is
And
the
if you say,
example,
and I
right?
will never claim something that big,
And I will
that
never
answers
claim
the
something like
question.
this. And
That's
then
Wait,
it.
wait, wait, wait,
That
wait,
everybody,
answers the
wait,
all
wait.
my
question.
friends, all my family members are saying, "We believe that you are Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam." And all I
That's
keep
it.
saying is, "I never claimed it. I never claimed it." No, a person would say, "No, I am not Imam Mahdi. I am not Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam." That is the example. You could use it to a store. You could do anything. When someone's trying to be disingenuous and answer ambiguously, they give answers like that. If you guys have children, if any of you have children and you deal with children that do something maybe naughty or whatever they're trying to get away with, and you ask them a very clear question, and then they answer something that doesn't actually answer your question, that's someone that's trying to pull something over your eyes. Whether you want to say it's politicians, yes, politicians do it too. Yes, and you guys, your Muhammad Qasim and the people that are surrounding him, the people that are pushing this content are doing the same thing because when people say that people believe he's the Mahdi, he's claiming to be the Mahdi because there's a very thin line between someone saying, "Oh, I never claimed it," but I'm going to let everybody believe that I'm that person. That
Well,
to me is the same thing
Well,
as a claim.
according to the hadiths, the people will
I think
already
you're
know
really
who the Mahdi
narrowing it
is.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
Look,
narrowing your
according to
So
the
as
conclusion
far as
hadiths,
Muhammad
down
people
Qasim
because
will
if
goes,
somebody
already.
doesn't claim something, it could also be out of humility. You can't just
it
say
could
that
be,
it
it
is
could be
the
right,
sheep
it could
of
be,
God. It could
it
also
could
be out
be.
of
So, but
humility. Yeah.
what we've established is that Muhammad Qasim is leaving it the door very wide open for everybody to believe that he is the Mahdi, even though he has never specifically claimed it. Can we all agree on that?
What's
So,
what's your point?
Yeah,
The
that's
Mahdi
That's the point.
himself.
That's it.
No. Okay,
That's
hold
it.
on. If
That's
you're
the
gonna
point.
make a point, let me respond. The Mahdi
Mhm.
himself, near the, if I don't know if you guys know the hadith about when the Mahdi flees from Medina to Mecca.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mhm.
people will pull him out and say, no, you are the Mahdi. He's going to flee because he's going to be running for his life, and there's even an army that will be sent to destroy him. By then, there are no clear sign that that earthquake incident has not occurred. So what does this mean? This means that the Mahdi knows he's the Mahdi, number one, and number two, the people know he's the Mahdi, and his enemies also know he's the Mahdi.
yeah.
All right. So as far as like you guys mentioned Muhammad Qasim being like very shy, you look at his demeanor and all that. So tell us a little bit more about him. Like, well, first of all, like how old is he?
So Muhammad Qasim currently, he's 40, around 48, right? So
48
Hmm.
years old.
yeah. So in the beginning, he in 2014, he was about 40 years old, 39, like something almost 40 years old, right? And according to him, according to his dreams, he said in 20, because he said, according to him specifically, he's been getting dreams since he was a kid,
Hmm.
right? And he always kept these dreams.
Allegedly since he was like 4 years old.
Yes, that was his
Like
first, very,
he
very,
remembers his
yeah,
dream in very
Five.
detail since he was four
Five.
years old.
Six,
5 years,
six. I believe it was six.
yeah. So, but it
Well,
was
in that book it said between 4 and 5. So
right.
six.
Okay.
Okay. So how many of you guys remember any dreams from when you guys were 4, 5, or 6 years old?
Well, I mean, this is a very specific dream, right? The dream you're referring to is that he
I am
wanted a
memories
balloon,
from
and
when I
then
was
he
little.
went up and he took some
Allah.
stairs behind the house, right? And he was at the
No,
gates.
he wanted to reach Allah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
a
I mean,
6-year-old.
that's a big thing. So the point is, he had dreams pretty much his own entire life, and he started picking up
Mhm.
more around his teenage years, right? So he's always kept those dreams private to himself, right? 2014, he was declared, or the Prophet came to him in his dreams twice, saying that, hey, alayhi salam, please share this message with the Muslim ummah, right? And the message again is to avoid shirk right, and to come back to Tawheed. And he explained shirk in his dreams specifically. Modern day shirk is very different than what we understand it. According to him specifically, he said the shirk is having statues, action figures, anything with a facial
Right.
feature,
And this is
right?
like his twist on just get rid of all the pictures in your
Well,
house and on
well,
your you
yeah,
only
that's
use them if
all.
you have the necessary. But
Yeah.
like so as far as like what is his Islamic education background?
So specifically, just go back on this topic, right?
Hmm.
In this thing, what this form of shirk, right, is very well known in the hadith as well.
Hmm.
However, we've, as I believe, as a whole ummah, we don't really take this
So
into.
okay, wait. I want to ask you something. You said what is his Islamic background? Are you
Yeah.
asking this because the Mahdi will be a learned scholar or
I'm
something
not
like
asking
this?
anything about the Mahdi. I'm just asking about Muhammad Qasim.
Yeah.
Okay, but no, you
But
you made a you made a question, but
Yeah.
I'm just
So
curious
Muhammad,
to know what's your opinion on the Mahdi regarding this stuff?
uh,
Like, is it where he would emerge from? What's
My
his
opinion,
spiritual sign?
my opinion on the Mahdi is according to what the Quran and Sunnah says.
Which is what?
That's what it is. Which
Which
is
is
exactly in the hadith. That's it, and what the scholars say.
what's okay? So
the
what
so
do you
Quran say
believe the
about the
hadith
Mahdi?
says about?
So what does the
hold
Yeah,
Quran
on.
say
what
about
does?
the
Wait,
Mahdi?
We're
Please tell
not
me what
we're
the
not
Quran
like
says about Mahdi.
we
Wait,
can
guys,
get into the Mahdi, but I asked about
yeah,
Muhammad Qasim's background. Is there a reason why you don't
Yeah,
want to
and
answer about his Islamic education?
no, yeah, we will answer, but
Okay,
first I
so
want to know
he
what
didn't
your
go to
position
any
is on the
mother.
Mahdi.
yeah, yeah.
He didn't go to no madrasas.
No,
He's not a scholar, right? I mean, he says that
no.
clearly in his dreams that he's not a
Nope, he's
scholar
not.
and
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
not a
learned,
scholar.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What about
that's
like
correct.
I got a
his
question.
does he have
Oh,
a career? Does he work?
I want my brother Hussein. He's been trying to speak the whole time.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's been trying to get words in.
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead, Hussein.
yeah. So, okay, so with all three of the brothers here on the
Yeah,
panel,
this one.
did you guys all at one time? I mean, when were you guys convinced? Okay, this is the Imam Mahdi. Like I
So
know, brother Mustafa, you said
yeah,
that you were skeptical at first. So
yeah.
when did you come to this sound conviction and conclusion that? I mean, what happened? Can you tell us about that? Like,
Yeah,
what was that
100%.
transition?
That's
The
beautiful. Yeah.
hadiths.
You got to the thing. So for me, I was personally trying to disprove it, right? So I was
Right.
like, yo, this guy is definitely lying. Let me bring out evidence to disprove that he's lying, right? So I'm like, all right, let me investigate first exactly what he's claiming, right? So going
Yeah.
back to the whole thing, he's claiming that to avoid shirk, right? So he said, get rid of statues, get rid of pictures, right? Get rid of anything that has like an image in it, right? Like let's say you have a family picture on the wall, right? And you have any action figures or something. As long as it's not for kids, right? And you're not using it, it shouldn't be there, right? I'm like, bro, there's no way, right? So I'm like, his main message, right?
Mhm.
So I went to the hadith. I'm like, is there anything about that? And there's a clear hadith says that anybody who draws pictures. So for me specifically, my background is I'm a doctor, right? I'm a foot surgeon, and I used to draw all the time, right? Anatomy, right? Facial features, right? Because that's how you learn, right? And I even saw this hadith when I was younger. I said the hadith, generally speaking, saying that anybody who draws, right, Allah's going to take him to question on the day of judgment, right? And it has the worst punishment. And the drawers, right? So I asked the scholars back in the day when I was studying. I'm like, what is this hadith specific? Because I draw, right? That's what I do.
Mhm.
And I like to draw. I'm good at drawing. So he's like, no. Specific, if you're using it to learn something, it's fine, right? So we do have this notion, multiple notion of that. You shouldn't have idols. You shouldn't have stuff, right, in your house. So that was okay. I'm like, let's say that one aspect, I'll give it to him, right?
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah,
Allah,
I'm asking specifically
Oh,
what.
okay,
yeah,
specifically, I'll tell you. Specifically, the physical signs, the spiritual signs are there, as well as the signs like from the hadiths as well regarding the prophecies. All of that, after doing research, then we came to the conclusion that this man he fits the description of the Imam Mahdi.
Okay,
because if somebody's claiming something like that, right?
right.
So he's not somebody ordinary, right? It's either you're a liar, because there's only two paths. That's how I saw it. You're either a liar, right, or you're telling the truth. So I try to disprove him. I try to find different things that he's lying about, and then I'm like, all right, let's just entertain. Let's say he's telling the truth, for example, right? This person has to be something that we has told us about, right? So then I'm like, all right, is it possible that this person could be the Mahdi, right? I'm like, all right, he's Pakistani. I mean, I always thought the Mahdi has to be Arab. I'm Arab, right? So I'm like, he has to be
Mhm.
Arab, right? So and then I'm looking at it, right? Oh, I'm looking at the children of the Prophet, okay? they married multiple African American, Northern African American women, as well as Pakistani women, right, from that region, because they actually traveled to India, right? And he also spoke something about Ghazwat the Hind. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with that concept, Ghazwat the Hind,
Yeah.
right? I never heard of that concept, right? So I'm like, I looked more into it, right? And then I'm like, okay, Ghazwat the Hind, what is that, right? Because I'm Arab, no. And if you ask any Egyptian people specifically, right, or like Saudi Arabia, stuff, they don't know what Ghazwat the Hind is. Like all the Pakistani and the Indian brothers, they know very well about that. So as I was doing more research about it, right, he said Ghazwat the Hind specifically talks about how there's 3 hadiths specifically on this, right? And Ghazwat the Hind, Abu Hurairah narrates, it says that if I was Abu Hurairah, if I can be in that war, I'll be Abu Hurairah the Muharrar, the freed one, right? As well as the people in Ghazwat the Hind are going to be amongst the people with Isa ibn Maryam. They're going to be 2 batches that Allah will never, what's it called, have them ever go through any trials, right? So they would enter Jannah pretty much, inshallah, right away.
Mhm.
So I'm like, all right, how is Ghazwat the Hind, right, with Isa ibn Maryam? I always thought Isa ibn Maryam is always in Jerusalem when he comes down in Damascus, right? How are those 2 connected? So then I was investigating, and then so what I want to do really quick is just give you a full timeline of exactly what he said in his dreams. And then
I don't think we have time to do all that.
Okay, yeah. So
I mean,
no,
and to be honest,
want,
if I could say something real quick,
Sure,
I mean, and I would say in advance, I don't want to come off as being rude or pushy or whatever. It's just sometimes it gets that way, so I apologize in advance. But
No problem.
we went for about 40 minutes, and I mean, I'm trying to, I'm not seeing anything solid right now. We're trying to figure out
hold on, because you guys have not used anything
before we even come to. I mean, this is just basics 101. Muhammad Qasim, his dreams, all this. So we're still trying to. We haven't even been able to establish. You said he's 48 years old. He's Pakistani. Wow, I mean that's I'm surprised. A Pakistani person claiming to be the Mahdi. I mean, there's been 40 or 50 of them, probably 70. Okay, already. So this is nothing new. But so he's 48 years old, and that's all we know. He's a 48-year-old Pakistani. So we tried to get some information on him. Who is he? Do you know his parents? Who is it? Who is his father? Who is his mother? Does he have any children? Does he have any family members? Has he been institutionalized? Is he sane, sound of mind? Like who knows him? Who grew up with him? I mean, none of you people have actually grew up with him, right? I don't think you know him. You didn't grow up with him. So who actually knows him? Like as a friend of him, a family member, someone who grew up with him. Is anybody in your group that actually said, you know, I knew him as a kid. I knew him. I went to school with him. I went to college with him. I mean, it's like this is a huge thing. And him saying that I've never claimed anything big. Claiming to talk to Allah, I give credit to Amr for this, but claiming to talk to Allah and claiming to get dreams from Rasulullah is huge. It's bigger than anything else. That is what the prophets do.
So now, why don't you bring the hadith?
Let me finish. I've been sitting here patiently listening to people running around in circles and ducking and dodging, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to duck and dodge. You know, all of us are busy people. We have time. We're not getting paid for this. So I apologize in advance. It sounds like I'm being rude, but we need to get straight to the point because a lot of people get misled. I hope you people are not doing that. Let's hope that we can come to some understanding. But the first thing that needs to be established is, who is he? How long have any of you known him? What dreams don't have anything to do. A person having dreams has nothing to do with the Mahdi anyway. There's no. Where's the hadith that says the Mahdi is going to have a bunch of dreams and to predict a bunch of stuff? And that's nothing. Y'all basing all this off of dreams. So number one, let's get to the point.
Let's get to the point.
He's a 48-year-old Pakistani. That's all we know. That's all we know.
Okay.
So where did he go to school? Where did he go to school?
No, we're gonna get to the point.
Where was he?
We're gonna get to the point.
No, where was he born? Number one, where was he born?
We're answering all those questions, brother. We're gonna
answer those
all
questions.
those questions. Just wait.
I mean, answer it now. Where was he born? What hospital?
Thank you for the question.
No, we're gonna answer your questions.
Only if you stop with answer. Otherwise, we're going to be people talking at the same time and no one will get any point across.
Okay, well, let me interject real quick. Let me interject. I'm gonna try to moderate this. And we knew this was gonna go this way. And like I said, we have a lot of experience with dealing with stuff like this. And
Can you guys bring any hadiths?
let me finish talking, please. Remember, this is our show, this is our platform. Okay, we're trying to go back and forth and have a dialogue. We have asked questions, and this is what people do. And you can see this from people that don't really have support for what they do. They want to go and just talk about what they want to talk about. We've asked questions about Muhammad Qasim, and we keep going back to, like, you guys just want to talk about dreams and hadith for support for the Mahdi.
I'll talk about
We are
hadith.
asking, we're not even to the point.
You said we're going to talk with hadith and Quran,
Yes,
right? So
that
that's what we should do. Now I
Allow
asked
me,
you a
I'll
question. What is your understanding of the Mahdi?
we haven't even got to that point yet.
That's
haven't
what
got
that's
to
what
that
we
point.
came here to do.
We came.
You're
We
attacking a man solely for who he is.
we
You're
didn't
not
attack
using any
nobody.
Quran
How
or
do we
hadith.
attack him? By asking questions?
So Jaffa, you guys also asked the like, for me personally, I was trying to answer why. Like Hussein asked the perfect question. Well, how did it get to the point where I believe this guy was telling the truth, right?
Yeah, and just
And
not to cut you off, but to some, you went on like we could try to get like quick.
So I'm good.
Let me tell me if I'm wrong. To
I'm
summarize
going
how each of
to
you
just
guys
give you quick
came
answers
to
if you
follow
please allow.
Qasim, to understand how you guys got to Qasim, is that basically you looked into his dreams, and then you went and did research, and the research that you guys did in the Quran Hadith aligned with his dreams. Is that a good way to just shorten up to like how you came to following him?
Sure. And then
Well,
as well as I went
the
multiple
reason
scholars. Go ahead.
the
Hassan.
reason I was asking that question is because, like Jafar mentioned, we have a lot of experience with, those type of situations where someone would infer something. Oh, I didn't say I'm the sixth sultan, but I'm just going to let, thousands of people, hundreds or tens of thousands of people believe something without actually just concrete, straight up saying yay or nay, and then providing their evidence about it. So I'm trying to figure out, how did you brothers come to this sound conclusion and understanding that he was the chosen Imam Mahdi with only supporting evidence from the Holy Quran and the Sunnah, not dreams, not
Okay. Can I speak on this? Can I speak on this?
Yes, go ahead, Saeed.
Okay.
Short answer,
Muhammad,
brother.
sorry. Go ahead, Muhammad.
First things first.
Nizam
Okay.
speaking away.
All right, I'm glad
And
we got
I
to
want
this.
to speak after him, please.
Yes,
Okay.
okay. Oh, yes, you're fine.
So, first things first, okay? You have the physical features. The name, the aquiline nose, the broad forehead. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam clearly described these. Even the place of his emergence, Ibn Kathir stated, and many other scholars also stated where he would emerge from. And it would be from the east, okay? Now, on top of that, there's also the spiritual signs. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned that the only thing left of prophethood, they're dreams. And from this, we can conclude that dreams would play an important part near the end of times. And if Imam Mahdi's title literally means the guided one, we can understand that Allah is guiding him in the way where Allah says in the Quran that he speaks to mankind, which is through inspirations. It's Surah Shura, 42, verse 51. And Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also said the only thing that's remaining of prophethood, they're true dreams. Now,
All right, so
from that, yeah.
So real quick, just to correct you a little bit. So this is why, according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at, if you guys said you all are subscribed to that, we do not go to the Quran and Hadith and just start interpreting them by ourselves, right?
I didn't though. I looked at what Ibn Kathir had to say.
Right. So Ibn Kathir, when he's talking about, like, for instance, you mentioned Shura, this ayat 51 of Surah Shura, right? And that's the ayat where Allah says, I do not speak to mankind except through a veil and through, that's the ayat you're talking about, right? And you're saying through that, like, this is support for you that Muhammad Qasim's getting these dreams talking to Allah. But if you also look into what Ibn Kathir explanation in the tafsir of that ayat was specifically revealed about prophets.
No. If that's the case, then there's in the tafsir as well by Imam Suyuti, he mentioned that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke to the mother of Musa through inspiration.
We're talking about this one ayat.
And you're saying that Allah only speaks to humans, so I'm answering that. I'm saying that's wrong. Allah does not only speak to prophets, he speaks to humans as well. For example, Imam Abu Hanifa.
This is again, and this is why, and I'm not going to go down this rabbit hole because you have to interpret. You want
Quran and Hadith. I'm giving you Quran and Hadith.
No, you're bringing twisted interpretations of the Quran and Hadith. So you mentioned Ibn Kathir, right? And in
Yeah.
Ibn Kathir and in the Tafsir, it explains
Okay.
clearly that this ayat was revealed about prophets, and you want to apply it to Muhammad Qasim. Well, that's your interpretation.
Hold
That
on,
is not
hold
an
on.
interpretation
No,
to
that's
the
not my
scholar.
interpretation.
Now,
You're
then you
putting
want
words in
no,
my
no.
mouth.
Let me finish. Then you went into saying, oh, there Allah also says, you go to the Tafsir, Allah gives ilham, inspiration, to the mother of Musa, which is not, he did not speak to the mother of Musa. So this is your
How do you know that? Hold on,
misinterpretation.
hold on. How do you, it's not my interpretation. I'm taking
Yes,
it
it
from the
is.
tafsir.
No,
No,
you're
it's not.
not.
I'm taking it from the tafsir.
So what Tafsir says that Allah spoke to the mother of Musa?
Imam, if you look at Imam Suyuti, for example, that's just one example. On top of that, there's Dhul Qarnayn as well. In the tafsir, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told Dhul Qarnayn, "O Dhul Qarnayn, either you punish them or you treat them with a goodly manner." Okay?
And who was Dhul Qarnayn? What was he? A regular man? Or was he a prophet?
He wasn't a prophet.
He wasn't a Allahu A'lam. Same thing with Khidr, is Allahu A'lam. Nobody says that these people are prophets.
What do the scholars say?
Right, they're different. It's difference of opinion on.
What's the majority of the scholars say?
No, amongst all the men,
They don't say he was a prophet.
They're not a prophet.
They don't.
They don't say
Okay.
he's a prophet. Yeah.
See, so now
And then there's also Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam I believe
Ahmad ibn Hanbal too as well.
Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Yeah, they spoke to Allah in their dreams.
They spoke to Allah.
Yeah.
They put it to them.
And you know that the scholars, when they those narrations about Imam Ahmed and Abu Hanifa about these dreams, about they spoke to Allah, you know that they have said that these are fabrications.
No.
You don't know that.
To who? No.
According to the scholars, we can give you the references after, but this is we're not even at that point yet, because right now we're debating about a guy that you guys haven't even been able to articulate who he is.
If the imams, hold on, if the imams are saying that's wrong,
just allow me to speak. You're not even allowing me to speak.
All right, go ahead, Irfan.
Ibn Taymiyyah, Imam Ghazali, Imam An-Nawawi, they all say yes, it is possible to speak with Allah.
Yeah. And you know what they also say with that? And then you got to keep reading those where it says
you keep
that,
reading. It says, but what you hear is
one
not
like Ibn Taymiyyah you just mentioned. When Ibn Taymiyyah talks about, yes, it is possible for Allah to speak to man in a dream.
Yes.
Only the pious ones.
No.
This is what he said. This is Ibn Taymiyyah's words.
No.
This is what Ibn Taymiyyah said.
I've read it.
This is no. Just let me clear this. And I'm not trying to be argumentative with y'all. I'm not trying to debase y'all or anything.
Yeah. We're trying to get
when you look into this stuff, this is what people that are of deviation have done since the beginning of Islam, is that they take ayats, interpret them the way they want, deviate from the mainstream, and then they ignore the evidence that actually goes against what they have been saying. So like you quote Ibn Kathir, and then Ibn Kathir says this ayah is specifically about prophets. Then you say, no, I'm going to go to another source and then pull that. Then you quote Ibn Taymiyyah, and you say Ibn Taymiyyah says it's possible for Allah to speak to a man in dreams. And then, but he continues to say only the very pious people.
Hold on. I said not only Ibn Taymiyyah. There's also many other scholars who have said
and we can go down the list, but I'm just giving you examples.
You can, but you're only bringing one scholar. You're only bringing one
anybody
scholar.
can cherry pick. Anybody could cherry pick various little sayings from here and there to make a narrative of what they want. According to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at, what do we do as Muslims? We don't follow the strange opinions of one scholar or even a couple scholars. We follow the consensus of the Jama'at, of the scholars, according to the Quran and authentic hadith, according to how the Sahabas understood it. This is the Aqidah of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at. So you can't go and I can find a random opinion by even someone that's well known. Scholars' statements are not evidence.
And
the evidence is the Quran and the Sunnah.
And let's
not what scholars say.
Let's try to stay on track, brothers.
That's exactly.
Please allow me.
That's what Allah said.
We're trying to
confirm
go ahead.
Muhammad Qasim is 48, 58, 68, 78, 88.
We want y'all to get 18. Back on that. We want to know about Muhammad Qasim. That's where we at.
So what's the specific question that you guys want to know about?
Where was he born?
If you please allow me to speak. I don't want to interrupt anyone. Please allow me to speak. Okay, you need to understand that I've been following the dreams of Muhammad Qasim in 2015. I've met him multiple times. So the reason for my belief is not just a dream. I have also studied.
How many times have you met him?
I met him 3 times.
So you don't
3
know him.
times and long hours, right? 3
So you
times
met
long
him
hours.
3 times for long
I do
hours.
know
Let's
a
just
lot
say you met him for
about
12 hours a day.
him. I have
You know him
questioned
for
him.
less than
So
a day.
if your only criteria is that if you're supposed to,
Tell us about
no,
Muhammad
in those
Qasim
days
without
I've
mentioning
met
the
3
word
times.
dream.
Doesn't mean that only one day. When I'm from Karachi and he's in Lahore, so when I travel to him, I'm there for a week also. So it's not
So
just
is
a
there
day.
anybody
So
that
if
we
you
could
want to count every
actually
time I leave the room and come back in, then it's going to be like a lot of times, right? Not like
So
that.
is
So
there
please
anybody
allow
that
me to speak.
actually
Number
knows
one,
him?
it's also from the. So number one,
Is
the
there
hadith
anybody that
about
actually knows
his
him?
name and
Jafar, let's speak. Let's speak.
father's name.
No, we don't know.
Okay,
No,
wait,
no,
wait, wait,
brother,
stop.
no, brother, no. Sorry.
We're not
Why
looking
don't you
for the
let me? I
hadith
don't
or the
get it.
Quran about him.
We
We're
are
trying
not.
to
Why don't you
Listen,
let
we are
the
trying.
me
person.
speak? I don't know. Why do you keep
We are
interjecting?
asking because this
You
is
just
No
keep
one's answering his
interjecting.
what is.
I've been asking
No one.
to speak,
Yeah,
you're
no.
not
You
allowing me
guys
to
keep
speak.
going
If you don't
into.
want us to speak,
You
I don't
guys
get a
listen,
point.
please. You guys,
Uh,
please. When we're
let us.
asking these questions, please answer the questions we are asking because you guys are diverting and you guys keep wanting to talk about his dreams and about him being the Mahdi. You guys have. Can we could probably move on to of this point. Can we all agree that you guys actually don't know him?
Yeah, personally, I've never met Muhammad Qasim. I've spoken with
What
Muhammad
about you,
Qasim.
Muhammad? Have you met him? Do you know him?
I've met him. Yeah, I've known him for some time now.
Like how much time have you spent with him?
Like I don't live next to the guy, but I speak to him here and there.
All right, so
How
would
am
you
I supposed to
qualify that
talk?
if I
I've
said
known
to
him. I've talked to
somebody,
him over the phone. I've been talking to him since 2015. Obviously, I know a
okay,
lot more about him than the
so
other
has
guys.
so if
So
I
if you
ask, so okay,
just keep
Said,
muting me, you don't allow me to speak. How am I supposed
no,
to tell
Said,
you?
because we're not
I've
gonna.
told you the
You went into
answer.
something that
You're
we didn't
looking
ask about.
for a specific answer. This is not how it works. That if you're looking for a specific answer, you
No,
want to
we're
know
not
someone
looking
who
for a specific
knows him
answer.
for
We're
all
looking for
Look,
an
his
answer
life.
to our question.
I
May
met
I
his
say
mother
something?
also. I met
look,
his
you
mother
guys are
also.
asking
I've asked
questions like,
questions to
what's
his
his
mother
diet?
also. So who is going to know him more than his own mother?
Does his mother
You
follow
are
his
looking for a
dreams? Does
specific
she believe in
answer.
him?
You're not even allowing me to speak. You keep muting me. I want
Does
to
his
make a
mother
point,
follow him and believe in
and you're
him?
not allowing me to even speak. I'm going to answer your questions if you just allow me to answer it. Otherwise, we're just going to both keep
Okay,
speaking, and no
so
one's
we
going to
want to
get
know
listen
if his
anything.
mother. We want to know if
Yes,
his
of
mother is a
course she does.
follower
She
and
has
believer
had
in
her
his
own
dreams.
dreams. Now, please let me answer. Of course she does. She's had her own dreams. She does follow him. She believes in
So why did he
him.
have? Why did he have a in that
So,
dream book? It said that none of his family members followed or believed in him.
yes, she is. I've answered that. I don't know. I said yes, she is.
So did he have a bad dream that was wrong?
So my so
She's
for my
If he had
received
a
her own
dream that his family
dreams.
would not follow
Yeah.
him or believe in
so,
him, but
so,
his mother does?
so Jafar, my
Yes.
Guys, let's stick with the Quran and Sunnah.
yeah, my understanding
No,
that specific
he said if I share
right
my dreams, this is
because
my
he has
concern.
I
But
would like to say
obviously, this
something.
is his mother fault. I've asked her this question. No,
I would like to say
not at
something.
all. Don't assume stuff.
I'm going by
No,
what
not at all. Not at all.
he's
His
been
mother,
provided on his
she's
website.
seen her own dreams. She's seen her own dreams. And let me talk about the signs in the hadith which completely fit onto Muhammad Qasim. Now, number one, his name, his father's name, his cheek, his mole on the cheek. He stutters when he speaks. He pats his thigh. He, according to Kitab al-Fitan, when he appears, he would appear to be like a person from Bani Israel. When he appears, he will do things like a person from Bani Israel. Number 10, when you basically, Rasulullah said that he will not match me in physical appearance, he will match me in conduct. Right? So this also applies on him.
Oh, okay.
According to
All
another
right, so
hadith,
okay,
Rasulullah said
wait,
that Allah
wait there,
subhanahu wa
wait there, wait
ta'ala
there,
will do
wait there,
Islah
wait,
over a single
wait,
night.
Saeed. You
A
said that
lot
the
of scholars
hadith.
believe this, and there's ijma
You
on this
said
also
that
to
the
an extent,
hadith.
not just
This is why I gotta
one, but
mute him.
many
This is why I
scholars
gotta
that he's
mute
going
him. because he's just there's a lag.
Jaffer,
hear us?
don't let them. Jaffer, don't let
Listen.
them get you to chase. Okay,
No, I'm
they
not. So
still have not. They still have not. We can't listen. Let me just say this real quick. This is such a huge thing, and for the brothers Mustafa Ahmed and Muhammad, please, you are my brothers,
Me too.
and I love you for the sake of Allah.
Well, yeah.
But are either one of you married?
I'm married, yes.
Okay, Muhammad, are you married?
No.
Okay, it's all right. But the thing is, if you yourself are getting married or anybody's getting married, the amount of scrutiny you would put on the potential spouse that you wanted to marry or the family would put on you. Where are you from? Where were you born? How old are you? Verify all this time. Well, how much money you make? Where do you work? All these different things. You would put more effort and you would know more details about someone who you would marry, who you may not even be married to years from now, as opposed to something you are basing your religion, your salvation, your dunya and akhirah on, and you don't know anything. You have to be able to fire off these basic things about a person that you're putting this much in. No. This is not something. Let me finish. This is not something that's just basic, straightforward, verifiable things that you can base your iman on, like the Quran. If someone gives you an ayah of Quran, you can just go to Quran, you can verify it's mutawatir, you can run with it. So, but this thing is something that you should know. And I'm talking about every single detail about this. If you've put it in your mind that you're going to believe in him. The reason why I'm so passionate about this, because it's the same thing that happened to people that I know personally. They believed full-heartedly in a man. And they, to this day, 40 years later, they don't know anything about him. So when it comes out that he was a fraud, when it comes out that he was a charlatan, when it comes out all these things that we uncovered by the grace of Allah, by the mercy of Allah, and showed them, they couldn't believe it. It just can't be true. It's true, and it always has been. But no one actually knew. They followed what they followed, this romantic dreams and things like that. So what I'm saying to you is that if you don't know more about him than what you would know about a potential spouse, then you are doing yourself a huge disservice. Huge.
I have a question for you, brother. So you said these people were part of a cult, and I'm assuming that individual would make prophecies or something, right? He would show some sign or something, correct?
He talked to, guess what? He talked to Allah. He had dreams with Allah.
Yeah, that's fine.
He did all,
but he showed
listen, the same exact things.
People have dreams that confirm his dreams.
I know, but he showed some proof, right? Some signs, or he said some things, correct?
All types of things.
Okay, and they did not come true.
Oh no, some did, and some had a lot of experiences just like y'all. But
okay,
you know what?
he's passed away and nothing happened, correct?
Yeah.
And
So once he passes away, then you're gonna say, oh, maybe he wasn't a man.
Are you gonna wait till he passes away as the final confirmation?
No. Now let me ask you something. Is it a sin to believe that somebody could potentially be the Mahdi?
No. I don't know. No, I don't
No,
know.
it's not a sin, right? Exactly.
Maybe not.
So that's it.
Maybe not.
That's it.
But
Now,
it is a sin. It would be a sin. It would be a sin to go and promote that to other people. Because why? You're promoting something that's possibly false.
Okay, hold on. During the time of the Sahaba, radiallahu anhu, there were some Sahabas who believed Ibn, what's his name? Ibn
Sayyid. Ibn
Sayyid. He believed he was the Dajjal. Umar radiallahu anhu even said, Ya Rasulullah, Wallahi, he's the Dajjal. No, not Umar Ibn Sayyid. The Sahabas had their own opinions that it did not take them out of the fold of Islam. We are not pushing.
Who said
this
anything
man
about
as
taking
the
you out the
Mahdi.
fold of Islam? You never say anything about taking you out the fold of Islam.
Sorry, sin. It's not a sin.
The Sahabas commit mistakes and sins too. They're not sinless.
Of course,
they made mistakes.
But what I'm trying to say is Rasulullah was there at that time, right? He could have stopped him, but what he did is he interjected with the hadith and the Quran. In this conversation here, there's nothing, no hadith and no Quran that was brought up. Instead, you guys are asking,
we're not even to that point yet.
What does he do?
We're not even at that point.
Of course, yeah, we want to know.
We're not even at that point.
Let's get into that. And as I said before, this guy who had these prophecies, it didn't come true, right?
No,
everything that Brother Qasim has said, it has come true.
According to you.
Not according to me. The
Even
dreams are there.
Like,
You
I'll
can
it
read them.
give you an
doesn't
example.
matter.
I'll give you an
It doesn't
example.
matter
It
if
does-
everything he said came true.
It does
He's
matter
not
because that
Okay,
shows that
let
he's
me
being guided
no.
by
Let me
Allah.
ask. Hold on, Mubarak. Hold on, Mubarak. Muhammad, let me ask you very quickly. Can a jinn come to your dream and tell you something that's going to happen in the future?
But the jinns don't know the
It's a
future.
very rare case. The jinn, they don't know. It's
They
one
don't
in
know
a 99.
even
We do know about the ayats in the Quran and hadith support that the jinns go and they sneak information
Yeah,
from the
but they'll
angels
tell
about the
you,
future.
they'll
We know
tell you
about
100, they'll tell
And
you
they mix
99 lies and one truth.
information
yes,
also,
but
so they don't
I'm
give
asking you.
complete
So
accurate information. They
a
mix
jinn, right? We have
information.
jinns, we have
So
soothsayers,
it's never
we
to be
have
100%
black magic.
accurate.
Are you saying, is it possible that an entity that's not Allah, like a jinn, a soothsayer, or somebody, can give you information about the future? As Muslims, this is according to Muslims. This is according to Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah.
So can I
Possible,
answer
but
this,
it
man?
will not always be accurate. We're
Okay,
talking
so
about
it's
100%
possible.
accuracy here.
I just wanted to establish
No,
that first. So now, by you saying that it does matter that he predicted the future, does that mean
He
if a
didn't
jinn comes to
he
me and
didn't
says,
predict
I'm a
it.
jinn, I can predict the future, so that means you have to follow me?
So
Hold on.
I
He, first,
specifically,
yeah, go ahead.
So I mean, I specifically did my research on this specific topic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I actually reached out. I don't know if you guys know who Ben Halima is. You guys have heard of Ben Halima?
No.
So
Ben Halima is the famous scholar who does the jinn catchings.
and Ruqya and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I asked specifically, like, I have no idea. That's a whole nother realm. That definitely out of my expertise. So I asked him specifically, is this possible that this person is actually getting any jinn interaction as well, right? Like just like you said, right? So according to him, he sent an email. We can send you this afterwards. He said from what I've sent and from my his expertise, he said there's no jinn interaction to this specific man.
Okay. Hold on. Listen.
That's according to one.
We are.
Person.
Wait. We got to an hour. Inshallah, we're gonna try to wrap up soon because I want to take everyone's time. Inshallah, in the future we can have a more productive show. We can plan this better, so it's not just everyone just shouting at each other back and forth. We can have a clear plan because, like, I'm very quiet, just nature is who I am. So inshallah, in the future we can have a more productive show and actually get to the nitty-gritty. Like, okay, so we will have a show eventually about all the hadiths, right? But we want to have one show in the future, inshallah. Just you guys telling us about Muhammad Qasim, who he is, his entire life story, basically. Like I want to have the biography about Muhammad Qasim, not about his dreams. I want to know about him, the person.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I want to know for one show. And inshallah, we'll have that for one show.
Yeah,
and
I
then
came here
after that.
This is fair, being very fair,
then brother,
to the audience and fair to the people that you guys are.
Brother Muhammad,
trying to promote this to.
If you came here under that assumption, I'm sorry.
I thought we were gonna talk Quran and Hadith, not about like what's his favorite
food. That is my apologies. I will take the blame for that as the scheduler of the show. I'll do better in the future, inshallah. We'll have a show with you guys, inshallah, about that, right? But
I mean, okay, but I just want to know, how would it? I mean, do you think it's reasonable to come with such a huge claim and
if
think
you have
you're just
proof
going to?
With Quran,
Okay, hang on. Let me just finish. Come with such a huge claim and just skip, like, I mean, basically you're skipping to like the climax, the part where the hero's just about to do his thing or whatever. I mean, like you skipped everything before. It's like skipping 78% of a production of a presentation, and then expected, which we're trying to figure out there's some missing pieces there. Like who is he? I mean, you couldn't even buy a car with this type of information that you have on this man. You couldn't buy a house. You could not rent an apartment with the amount of information that you have on him. You wouldn't be able to do anything yourself if you just showed up and was like, "Yo, I had some dreams."
Hold on, brother. We came here, and you clearly said in the beginning we're going to speak with Quran and Sunnah, but there was none of that. You guys, I even asked you guys, what is your understanding? What is your understanding of the Mahdi?
Not even one basic question has been answered yet. Every time I ask one question, like where was he born, I get a 15-minute rant, and then you jump to the dreams. You keep trying to go.
He was born in Pakistan. He was born in Pakistan.
Pakistan, Lahore.
What city?
I think
Lahore.
He was born in Pakistan.
Lahore. What hospital?
Lahore.
Is he Akhlabate?
So
Yes.
yes, his father is
He's
actually
Ahlul Bayt.
his father's
Yeah,
correct.
yeah. He's Ahlul Bayt.
So
Will-
have you guys seen?
Yes,
Because
The
when
ID.
people are Ahlul Bayt, they
From the
actually
correct
have
family,
certification.
Yeah,
yes.
that ID. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
It's
Alhamdulillah.
needed.
So he's Ahlul Bayt.
So
Has
his
he
full name-
ever
Wait,
been?
let them talk. Let them talk.
Has he ever been admitted to any type of like psychiatric ward?
No.
Take any type of medications? Because when you look at him, you can actually see that he's
No, not
sleep
at all.
deprived or something.
So the
No,
medication
not at
aspect,
all.
I don't know what's inside his cabinet. I never asked him specifically, hey man, what medication you
Well,
So
I
you
have a
don't know
question.
he's
So
not
I mean,
no,
Yes.
not
No,
he's
no.
not been on
He
any
actually got checked. There was a doctor. There was a
I've
doctor who
asked
came
him,
checked.
there's no such problem. And a psychiatrist from Indonesia has also come.
Now is he your guys's like leader?
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
no,
No.
not at all, absolutely not.
No.
So this is like it's like me and my brother Mubarak right here. Like like I know you, I know of you, we met now, and I actually just it's like any person. I just hit up on the phone. I'm like, hey, how you doing? What's going on?
So is he claiming any leadership role himself?
Absolutely not.
But he's
Wait.
in.
Okay, hold on. I'll answer this. He is not okay. So leadership
Nope.
role in the dreams. This is one of the earlier dreams that he posted. I'll say this, that in his dreams, the people of Pakistan end up making him the leader of Pakistan. Now, take this in for a moment. That is actually a very big claim to
Before
make
even before
dreams. Before anything. So
for a dream,
somebody
no,
to
it's
say
not.
that.
For a dream,
Sorry?
actually, no, it's not a big claim for a dream. That's just a dream.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
talking about hold on. I'm talking about in real life. Is he
Yeah.
claiming any type of leadership role? Are you guys his
No, he's
subordinates? I mean,
Not. He's not.
Not at all.
He's
It's,
So-
not.
he's not my sheikh.
So
okay,
who
let me
like
ask
how do
you-
y'all
hold on,
function
hold
as like
on,
an
hold on, let
organization?
me
Because
talk.
you guys have like you have YouTube pages, websites. There's like 5 or 6
Who's the
different
leader of the
Facebook
organization?
groups. How do you guys coordinate all that?
So
Who's
we've
in charge of
got
that?
different helpers doing their own thing.
All
Yeah.
different helpers just doing their own thing. So there's nobody in charge of anything.
Pretty much.
So
Like,
there's
for me
actually no in
personally-
charge. We've got different helpers doing their own thing.
Brothers, listen
Yeah.
to me. I'm
No,
telling
no,
y'all right now,
no,
that's
there's
highly
one in charge.
suspicious. That's
No,
highly suspicious. We
so-
are very familiar with this type of stuff. We keep trying to explain this to y'all. No leader. He's
No,
not claiming to
yes.
be a leader, but yet
That is the
he
truth.
speaks to a law. And
That is the truth.
and he's
That's the truth, brother. There's no cult. There's no funds. There's none of that. That's
Yeah.
the truth. That's the hard truth.
So let me ask you guys each individually.
That's very
Mustafa,
peculiar.
have
Yes.
you ever donated or given any money to help out with the cause?
So me specifically, the only money I've done was actually traveling to other scholars all over the U.S. for going like ICNA, all this stuff, and specifically sitting down with different scholars. For example, Eschatology, Omar Suleiman, Uthman ibn Farouk. This is money out of my own pocket because I'm searching for the truth.
No,
So,
have you
I've never-
given
I've
any
never-
money to
No.
anybody in Pakistan to
I've
say,
never said-
okay, I'm going to help because it's going to edit the video production? Have you
Nope.
donated anything? Muhammad Qasim needs a bill to pay,
No.
anything like that? What about you, Muhammad?
No.
No, have you never given not $1 towards the cause?
No.
What about you, Saeed Irfan?
Okay, the website.
So-
Maybe he's
Mind
muted.
I put it up on my own server, designed the site initially my own. Then there was another help that did it. I'd never given any money, never.
Okay.
And
So
basically, whatever
Muhammad Qasim,
we do,
what does
we do
Muhammad
it with
Qasim
our
do for a living?
own money. We don't take any money from anyone. And whatever pages, like for example, there's
What does
this channel, the
Muhammad Qasim do for a
final
living?
generation. I have
Is it
my videos
Mustafa,
there.
do you know?
Say again?
Does anybody
okay,
know
so
what
his
Muhammad
father
Qasim
was
does
in
for a living?
Qatar for 40 years, and so he was a doctor. His father was a doctor. He's got 9. I'm just telling you all of our investments. There are investments, and there's rent which comes from his old house also.
So he doesn't have it. He doesn't
He's taking
work.
care of
He
his
doesn't
mother
do
right
anything
now, but he
for himself.
does some freelancing, and he had a shop on the Raz, which is like
What is
something what you call
freelancing?
eBay
What?
in the US.
What is
So there's
freelancing?
the Raz in Pakistan. He had a shop on that. So he
What
doesn't
does
do a
freelancing mean?
job
Like freelancing, what?
actively,
Like
but he does
writing,
do this
freelancing.
stuff.
Like so he doesn't have a job. He doesn't have a career. He doesn't do anything besides take care of his mother.
Yeah, got
And
investments
have
from
his-
his
And no, he
father and
manages
left
he
all the
manages
money.
the homes. He manages the investments.
he
Freelancing,
manages the investments from his
yeah,
father.
freelancing, you can do anything.
Yeah, okay.
In freelancing,
So he has an edge. So
he
like as far as managing investments, what does that mean? Like stocks,
no,
bonds,
he, no,
that stuff, or is it
he
like
used to have a web
so
IT.
also he has an IT background.
No, he used
so
to have
he would
an
have a very
IT company.
oh interesting. Now who runs the YouTube pages?
Yeah, his father has passed away.
So
Who runs
Oh,
the
different
YouTube
people.
pages?
They're
And are they
not, they're
monetized?
not as many investments. He's also
The-
one of 9 siblings, and his brothers are at good places in Pakistan. Yeah.
So I didn't quite catch like when you said he was a freelancer. Like he freelances doing what? I think I missed that
Different
part.
helpers,
IT,
they have their own
IT.
pages. There's
IT.
Muhammad Qasim PK.
IT.
There's
Hmm.
different people.
And are they monetized?
No, they're not monetized. The one that we know are not monetized. I can't speak on everyone's behalf. I can't speak on anyone's behalf.
Okay.
So for the record, to be clear, and this as far as I know, this should just be a yes or no question. But so for the record, you guys, none of you three,
Look, I can speak
have
to the pages I know of. They're not monetized, but every
I
helper
think there's a
has
lag.
their own page.
okay, yeah.
I think they're not monetized because I'm pretty sure they're not, but I can't speak on behalf of everyone.
Yeah.
But
So
the
when
pages
go ahead, Mubarak.
So yeah, that's somebody's in the chat saying we spent money to promote for spreading Muhammad Qasim's dreams. So somebody's spending money to do it.
So there's somebody collecting money.
And that's why we're saying. So what I'm trying to clarify is, and we're gonna take y'all at your word. We're not. I mean, we're just really we're just trying
I'm
to
sorry, I didn't
get the information, hopefully to protect the people and to find the truth. But
Okay.
we deal with this a lot. So try not to be offended by the question or by my aggressiveness, but we know certain things, the way things go with certain types of things. So
they're spending money
now
on their own.
Okay, no. I'm gonna ask the question.
Okay, go ahead.
So you already said that you three don't, but at any time has there been drives for collections to collect money in any of these groups or any way to support or promote or to help fund this operation or anything? Are there any time since the beginning where there's any sort of organized drives to collect funds for the operation?
So I could clearly say there was never been funds. I've been in the group for 2 years now, recently, and there's never been a fund where there's money collected to promote anything.
Okay,
even hold on. I even asked him because
I've been with the group since 2015. 6 years, there's never been any drive. Never.
Okay. All right. All right. I believe you. I believe it. But now let me tell you why that is. I mean, it's amazing what y'all are doing because we have a very humble operation here and we collect money. We have regular donations that we take in order to do our work. So it's not even, it's very hard for an organization, for as much as media as y'all put out and the work that y'all doing and different things, to actually collect no money.
So
it would be.
This isn't a cult.
Let me finish.
Yeah.
The thing is,
go ahead.
Organization, whether it's nonprofit, whether you're doing great work, or whether you're a cult, it doesn't matter. Any organization needs funding. It needs to have something.
I asked him that.
So for you to say we never have any money come in, we never. So how do you do anything?
So perfect. I asked him that specifically because I asked him, look, you have around 300K subscribers on your YouTube channel, right? Why you don't monetize that to help promote it even more, right? Because you could take money from that, right? Because that's 300K subscribers, somewhat pretty decent channel, you know. So I asked him, why don't you take that money and monetize it? Because you could actually put ads up on it, and then therefore collect and actually promote it more, right? If you want to get the dreams out there. He said, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go down that route because then it's gonna misconstrue the actual message of what's being said. Once you start taking, once you, like you said, once you start putting money into something from other sources, then there's alternative motives that.
But I believe YouTube also changed their algorithm, so to push the videos more. I think some videos they were monetized, but the thing is, it's not like he's making hundreds of dollars, maybe a couple rupees, but that's about it. But his stance is that for the message of Allah, it should not be this is something that should not be capitalized. That's his stance.
All right. So we had somebody in the chat, at least one person, say that they actually have given money to somebody.
If you
It
want
might
to
not be.
if you want to monetize your platform on your own volition,
Yeah, then
that's on you.
and
That's why
if
he was trying to say
Right.
that if there's a lot of helpers or a lot of people who believe in his dreams, if they want to monetize on their own, that's according to them. They can do that on their own volition.
Right. But someone said they have given money, so we don't know who they gave it to. At least one person, part of y'all group, has collected money, maybe on the side. Allah knows best.
Maybe to advertise.
Yeah, maybe that. But inshallah, I want to get into a Q&A with just the chat. So if y'all have
Yeah,
any questions
so
for our guests,
yeah.
inshallah, ask them over the next 10 minutes.
Hold
or so,
on one
so that way
second. So I'm
we
gonna take we're gonna put the link in the chat.
Yeah.
So if anybody wants to sign on real quick to ask a question, again, has to be a quick question that our guests can, or us, if you have it for us, that we can answer quickly, so we can get to the next people to ask questions. If people get on here and start ranting or saying inappropriate things, then we're gonna have to kick you out. So I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and you can just click on the link. If you have a browser, you can come right on the show and ask your question. You don't have to turn your camera on if you don't want to.
Jafar, I'm gonna ask quick 5 minutes. I'm just gonna excuse myself. I gotta pray Maghrib. I'll be right back.
No problem. Go ahead. I guess while we wait, is there any questions that you guys had for us, or is there any questions that any of our other hosts had for our guests? And let me apologize just for, like, we keep saying this, like, we might be coming off as a little harsh, and I know.
No, it's not harsh, brother. We just expected that we are gonna have a dialogue about like the Mahdi getting into the hadiths and everything, but I wasn't expecting to have a full background about.
I think next time what we need to do is schedule a time for everyone.
We never asked what he eats. Never asked that. I mean,
might as well have, right? Where is he from?
No, we asked questions that we who have been through this, if we can go back, the questions we would have asked.
No, I have a question for you actually.
Yep.
Brother Jafar. So, what if his dreams do come true, and what if he does end up becoming like a leader for Pakistan? Would you then take him seriously?
No.
Even if he becomes a leader of Pakistan?
No, because according to Islam, Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat,
yeah,
dreams don't mean nothing in our religion. We don't take our religion from people's dreams. So
okay, but
just because someone has dreams,
forget I think, brother, you really drilled it down and you really culled it down. You shouldn't be speaking like this, because according to hadith, let's cite a few hadiths for you. Number one, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that dreams are 46th part of prophethood, and anything from prophethood cannot be anything from prophethood cannot be a lie, right? Then there's another hadith that what is left of al-mubashirat. Please let me speak.
See, this is why it's very important. It's very important.
I already have a lag. I can't.
Let him finish speaking, brother.
No, because he's gonna go on. We can't let him mislead people. Yeah. Right? We
but
cannot let him mislead.
Okay, forget the dreams.
You don't even let me complete.
Like, we can't, like, in Islam, like, you guys should know. He should know, if he's an alim, he studied. He should know that yes, we have dreams. We have dreams as Muslims. We have dreams, and we know this from the hadith that he mentions. That sometimes Allah blesses us with true dreams. Right?
Okay.
We know this as Muslims. However, we do not take our dreams and then say, okay, now I want to base my Islamic decisions based on my dreams. As Muslims, Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, we do not do this, because we know as Muslims, Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, dreams come from three sources.
The complete
dreams can come from Allah. Let's be very clear about. I can't. Dreams come from Allah. Dreams can come from Shaitan. And dreams can come from our nafs. Okay? Three sources. So I can have a dream and I can think.
Coming true? What if those dreams keep coming true? And now
you said
you wouldn't believe.
Okay,
hold on. You said you wouldn't believe that this person, if he becomes a leader of Pakistan, you wouldn't believe he's the Mahdi. But that's what the storyline of the Mahdi is that
That's
he
not
will
so, the
become a
storyline of Mahdi doesn't say nothing
that
about
is
Pakistan. That's your own interpretation.
hold on, no. It does. Not Pakistan specifically, but it does mention a
Right.
nation
So it
before
could be
Khorasan.
Pakistan,
Pakistan
it could
was
be
not
India.
even
According
Pakistan
to
did
you
not
guys,
exist until
Khorasan.
1947.
It's right before.
Right.
It's right before the Khorasan, where the border ends. If you look at the map during the time of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right before Khorasan, there's Pakistan, and
And
Pakistan
how many
even
other
falls
lands are
within
before
Khorasan.
that too? How many other lands fit
No,
that same
it just
criteria?
says right adjacent to it. Right adjacent to it. There's only Pakistan, brother. It's only
India.
Pakistan.
India is right
No,
adjacent to it too.
India has nothing to do with
Pakistan
Khorasan.
is India.
Brother, no, the India of right now and the Pakistan, this Khorasan has nothing to do with the India. It's Pakistan. We're speaking
So
about a
our
man from
religion. No,
Pakistan.
let me, Muhammad. You're American, so I'm gonna talk to you plainly. Is
All right,
our
go
religion
ahead.
of Islam based on the borders that were drawn by an Englishman?
No, that's what I'm saying. I use the borders
Right.
during the time of
So
Rasulullah
when we
Sallallahu Alaihi
talk
Wasallam.
about that area, we're talking about India.
You're talking about Sindh, if you want to get into the specifics.
That's
Who draw
it.
the border of Pakistan?
I mean,
Brother, no.
A white man.
Let's get okay. If you want to get specific, if you look at the map during the time of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he did say
Yeah.
Khorasan, correct?
Yes.
The land before Khorasan, it was Sindh, which is now Pakistan. So I've given you my answer.
Sindh was India, not just Pakistan.
Okay.
Sindh is Pakistan.
Let me try to make
brother.
something. Let me hope to clarify something. My brother, my dear brother Muhammad, this is the thing that hopefully will be clear. Anyone can have dreams, just like our brother Said Irfan Ahmed was explaining the hadith, and he was, alhamdulillah, he's mentioning a lot of hadith. The reason why we are, it's not that we're avoiding using this hadith. We know them, we deal with them, but see, this is the thing. It's just like Allah says in Quran. What does Allah say in Surah Al-Baqarah? إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة وما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم. The ayah goes on. يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين. The thing is that people can, if they want to use the Quran, they can use the Quran to be misguided, or they can be guided. You can use the hadith, you can use the Quran, you can pick and pull and cherry pick and do lots of things with the ayahs. You can. And this is the thing. A lot of people do this. They can take authentic ayahs, they can take authentic ahadith, they can take statements from the Salaf, they can take statements from legitimate scholars and shuyukh, pick one here, put it here, just place things here and there, and then for the person who's untrained with an untrained eye or ear, it sounds good, it's romantic, it tastes sweet, so they run with it. But if you don't understand, don't see how this is built. So when we say we're not, Islam doesn't have anything to do with dreams, and the brothers coming with the hadith. Well, 146, we know it all too well. It's been used so many times. We've heard it a million times with people in cults and this thing. I'm not saying you're a cult. What I'm saying is we've heard this same type of statement about dreams from people in legit cults. They say the same thing you're saying now. So what I'm saying is that for the dreams, let me just finish this. Let me finish this. Let me finish
Go
this.
ahead.
For the dreams, if you have a dream, if I have a dream, it could be true. Yes. It could be exactly accurate. Yes. But the only people who have dreams in which other people take action on and believe in and follow and take actions in their iman and their beliefs is prophets. Prophets have dreams that then other people are commanded to act upon. Everyone else, their dreams are for them and them only. And we don't have to believe in them.
I agree 100% with you.
Because you can't confirm them. The messengers, Allah talks to them and gives them messages and instructions for mankind. If you have a dream, and even if it's true, and even if it comes true 100% of the time, you can have 1,000 dreams and 1,000 of them come true exactly. Great. Wonderful. You're a wonderful person, but no one has to follow you and no one should, because we follow Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He's the one who had the dreams that we follow. He's the one who had the revelation that we follow. He's the one who gave us the information from Allah that we follow. Anyone else that's saying they're getting some information, some dreams from Allah, that's for you, man. That's for you. And you keep it. and you keep it with you. But we don't have to follow it, and you shouldn't be telling anyone else to follow it. Anyone who does this is not following Islam. It's not part of Islam for someone themselves to have a dream
and say Allah's commanding them to follow and believe in my dreams.
Hey,
And not
Spread
only
that.
that,
dream,
Brother,
follow me. This is my dream.
100%.
I'm predicting the truth. You
Brother
can't
Lamar,
do it.
I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. Right? You 100%. You hit the head on the nail. That's exactly why me specifically, right? You said there is no prophet after Prophet alayhi salam, right? Right? Alayhi salam. We all here say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, right? And we all believe there is nobody coming except Isa, the only prophet coming after Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam, and he's not coming with the new revelation, right? So therefore, like you said, we're not obligated to follow anybody's dreams. However, did not the Prophet ﷺ tell us of somebody coming after him that is going to be guided by Allah, right?
In one night.
In one night.
One night.
Not gonna be guided.
Not 23 years.
Once he's 4 years old and
23 years.
Prophet, I agree with you 100%. I agree with you 100%. So
rectified.
So therefore, right? I look at Muhammad Qasim, bro. I'm like, bro, you look man average, right? There's nothing really special about you, right? Except the fact that you're claiming something and tremendous. This is a tremendous claim, right? So therefore,
well, hold on. Got to stop you right there. You said he's claiming. You said he's claiming something. When he's not claiming.
No, but he's claiming that Allah speaking to him in the dreams. That's huge. That's huge.
So I was talking. This is what we're good at. Let me step in real quick. This is something we're good at, especially I'm very good at, right? And I was talking to some other members of your groups and pointed things out. That's why I took the time to actually read that book about his dreams, right? Because when you actually go into the details and you pay attention to the words that are being said, you can find clear contradictions.
Like what?
You guys even mentioned it. I'll point some out. You guys even mentioned at the beginning of the show. He had a dream. He said in his dream, I would never make any big claims. And we just confirmed that he's making one of the biggest claims that a person can make. Well, how can you say I had a dream? I'm never going to make a big claim, but I speak to Allah. No, that's a big claim. That's a contradiction.
No, the big claim is that he's saying that I want to be something. Or I'm saying like if I'm saying I'm going to be president, right? That's a big claim we're talking about, right? We're saying, hey,
that's lower than saying I speak to Allah.
Right. So you got to understand that when he's saying that, right? You're taking stuff out of context at this point because now you're saying that again.
You tell me the context.
No. The big claim is that yes, you're speaking to Allah. That's huge, right? That's not light. But when somebody asks him, "Are you the Mahdi?" Right? He's like, "I'm not making that claim."
Oh, so okay,
you'll never hear me make a statement like that.
Yes,
right.
Exactly.
So you're saying in his dream when he's saying I'm not gonna make any claims. I'm only speaking about being the Mahdi, but I'll make any other big claim I want to make.
So you
answer that and address that. Does that make any logical sense that he's claiming that he's getting revelation or Allah speaking to him and Rasulullah ﷺ is speaking to him? Does that make any logical sense, brothers? Answer that directly.
Look, it doesn't unless
unless does that make any sense?
Unless you're somebody that what's it called? That's what we personally came to the conclusion that this would eventually be Imam Mahdi, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason. There's no other person who can do that. Yeah. There's nobody else.
You can grill somebody all you want, but you said it yourself. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't. But that right there, that is something worth investigating and looking into the dreams. And
does Allah and Rasulullah tell us to look into people's dreams to determine if they're the Mahdi?
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to investigate a message when it comes to you.
Yeah, okay. Yep.
Right?
When a fasik, the hadith, you guys use this ayat a lot in your content, right? And again, this is why we have to go back to the correct understandings of the ayats. The ayat is telling you before you go and act upon something that a fasik tells you to do, go and make sure it's true first, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, but in the context, and you go into the explanation, right? When a fasik comes and tells me something, I can straight up just ignore him because he's a fasik. I don't have to investigate it. If I want to go and act like it's true, then I have to investigate it. You guys took the step of like, okay, I want to believe this. When in fact you should have said, this guy's a fasik. I don't need to believe in this. I don't need to follow this. According to the Quran and Sunnah, Allah and the scholars throughout the 14 centuries of Islam have said you don't follow what's in other people's dreams.
So,
But
no, that's
Jafar-
not true.
So
That's
Jafar-
not true, dude.
So Jafar, specifically, so
Mhm.
like, so are you assuming that we did not do our investigation? Because
No, no. I'm saying that you guys did.
Oh,
I'm
he said
saying
you
guys
should have
shouldn't
ignored it. That's
You
what he's
should have
saying. You
ignored
should
it.
have ignored it. That's
You
what
should have
he's saying.
ignored it.
So can I let me
wait. The
let me-
fact is, no. Like, let's just. I mean, just logically, right? Logically,
Yeah.
just understand, right? At least this is for me. I'm talking for me, and I appreciate what you guys are doing because you guys are like saying, okay, you might be going down the wrong path. It's a dangerous path, right?
Mhm.
And I want to make sure if you're gonna go down this path, make sure that you're 100% correct in what
Yeah.
you're doing. You got to take this serious, right?
Yeah.
And you said again, this is between Iman and Kufr, right? So the point is, yes, we're doing a lot of investigation. Me specifically, I can say that I've investigated this man tremendously, very scrupulously, right? And so just logically take where we are in the ummah, right? Put it all together. And now you're telling me almost all the minor signs have been completed. The only one I've been looking for, the last one, right? The last minor sign I'm looking for is the Euphrates River drying up and the mountain of gold being revealed, right? And that amount of gold, 99 out of 100 people, that's the attrition rate, right? We all know that hadith, correct? So that's the only one that has not been fully uncovered. But and unanimously, ask all the scholars this, all the minor signs have been completed. So we're at that point where that little gap between that minor sign and going to the major signs. Now, I specifically asked the scholars, what is your understanding of the eschatology? Where are we, right? I kid you not, this is me specifically, and this is ulama, the great ulama of our generation. They have different answers. Eschatology in general is filled with riddles. It's mystery. Even in Revelation, you look at the Bible. It's in riddles. It's in symbols. It's symbolic, right? It's not 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to happen. Even the 10 major signs, we don't know which is the first one. The scholars assume it's the jail, but they don't know, right? So you have to take everything that you have and kind of say, okay, what is the puzzle pieces? So then when I took Muhammad Qasim and I saw it, I'm like, all right, this guy, for me personally, I'm like, this guy's lying. And I saw what he had to say. And then when you put everything into context, you're like, okay, it paints a clear picture. Now, if he's lying, right, none of this is gonna happen. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
we will all be lost in history, and all this is irrelevant, right? So it comes back to the point where did somebody look at his dreams and say, okay, this is what he said, and this is exactly what's going on. Specifically, I'm just gonna give you just a very broad, very quick overview. He claimed that there's 3 castles of Islam. There's Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Pakistan. He said the first 2 castles fall. Pakistan's the last castle. This is in World War III. It's 4 years, right? And he said at that point,
he takes over.
Pakistan
law sends 100 black jets that have technology that no one's ever seen. He fights the Jazal. He flies through the air. He shoots his Jazal with his
Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute just to finish it, and then I'll leave the floor to you.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. So you said there's 4 years of World War III. Then Pakistan is the last castle of Islam. All the Muslim countries are devastated in World War III, where there's proxy wars between the great powers of the world. And then most of the Muslim countries flee to Pakistan at that point, where they eliminate shirk. And that's when Allah's help finally comes. Then there's the battle of Ghazwat the Hind, right? Which is very similar to Battle of Badr, according to him. Then he said after that war, there's a 7-peace year treaty, right? For 7 years, then the Dajjal comes out. The general gist of what happens, okay? So for me, I'm like, all right, according to the hadith says that Mecca, right, is going to be this almost like Medina, is going to be gone and desolate while Jerusalem is thriving. And then it also says that the Muslims conquer Constantinople afterwards, right? And then they hear a crier saying that the Dajjal has come amongst your people. So as if you look at Mubarak is laughing at me, but like
I know. Wallahi, I was laughing at you. I was laughing at the chat, man. Some of these people are funny in the chat on the side.
they got jokes.
I'm sorry. Wallahi, I wasn't laughing at you, brother. I promise I wasn't.
So that's just the general things. So all I'm trying to say, what I'm just trying to say is that when you take the hadith and you take what he said, and everything fits. versus when I take the scholars and ask them, they have different opinions, different things.
Let me ask you real quick.
Wait.
Hold up. I've been holding this. I got
We
three
need to wrap this show up. All right. So
hey, yo, hold up. We can't wrap up just yet. We can't wrap up. Let me just say this, please. I got a question, especially for my brother Saeed Irfan Ahmed, who the much maligned. I'm sure he feels like he didn't get to shine, but I got some questions that are directed for him. But Mustafa Ahmed, brother, you know what? And honestly, I love you, brother. I just met you, and I say, look, I like this brother. Really, and honestly, you brothers, I feel like you are sincere.
Yeah,
but I feel the sincerity. I feel like you're not. I don't feel like you're trying to
take advantage of people or
swindle
people or whatever.
I think you're really you're sincere in what you believe. So I mean, I can appreciate that. However, so this is my question, and this is the test.
Is this for me?
You said this is for you, Mustafa Ahmed. I'm gonna get to Said Irfan in next, but for you, Mustafa, you said you spent your own money to travel and meet with some shuyukh, Uthman ibn Farouk, and Yasir Qadi, right?
Yes. Very brief. I just gave him the.
Yeah. So what I'm asking is, and who else? Uthman ibn Farouk, Yasir Qadi.
A lot of people here, local, a lot of local.
Okay. So my question is, did you mention to them about Muhammad Qasim and his dreams? Yes. Did you mention him and say, Muhammad Qasim, he's having these dreams? Did you mention this to them, or were you just asking about other things?
So no. So specifically, first I inquired about what do you think the Mahdi is, all this stuff, just to kind of get the gears rolling, right? And then I'm like, all right, there's some guy claiming that he's speaking to the Prophet. He's claiming to speak to Allah directly. He's like, whoa, that's a huge claim. So specifically, Uthman ibn Farouk, very smart guy. He's like, look, he's like, I've got a lot of messages from these helpers from Muhammad. This is his words, right? So he's like, I had a kind of bad taste because they're like, oh, you got to believe in him. You got to believe in him. So, but he's like, I never investigated, so I'm quiet in the matter. I don't, Allahu Alam, if that's his dreams. And this is what most of the scholars said. If that's his dreams, that's his dreams.
Okay. So this was
go ahead.
So the thing is, a lot of times what we see is people in that. And I know the cult seems like a trigger word for people. I'm not saying that you're in a cult, but we deal with cults a lot. But one thing that when we run the cult test is some of these people that are in cults, what they will do is they will talk around their core beliefs and try to get confirmation from other shuyukh and stuff like that. But they will never mention exactly what they believe. Like, for instance, another cult that we had to deal with, they believe that their sheikh is actually comes from a spark of Allah. Like, he actually is from Allah, and he speaks to Allah, and he talks to Allah, and he basically in their books is like, it's okay to call them Allah, and they think they have the attributes of Allah. So, but these things, they will never say these things to any other shuyukh or any just general Muslim body. They'll hide these things.
So Allah is my witness. Wallahi, I spoke to all of them. I asked them directly. Look, Muhammad Qasim saying this. He's speaking to the Prophet and he's speaking to Allah and his dreams. So I asked him.
Did you ask him? Did you say, and I believe he's the Mahdi?
Yes, I did as well.
And then what did they say to you when you said you believe he's the Mahdi?
So I had different opinions. One, a lot of them, like, we're not in that time yet. Some people said that, right? We're not there yet, right? So there's no way the Mahdi. One person said, look, he's like, I had an experience. Just one of my shuyukh here, right? His name, I should keep it private, right? He's a fairly famous scholar as well. But he said that I had a lot of people where they were in Mecca, right? During that time when that whole Jalani incident happened, right? And they went there and they're in life imprisonment for now because of that one incident, right? So he's like, look, unless 100% he's in Mecca and doing all this stuff, I cannot follow it, right? I'm gonna be quiet on it, right? So
and that would be that's actually the correct position to take.
Yeah, that's the
correct position. When you actually see that army get swallowed up, that's when you know.
So then no, brother, I gotta differ with you on that.
After Muhammad speaks, we got someone who's out here who wants to ask a question. So after Muhammad speaks, I'm gonna let them come on to ask their question. So go ahead, Muhammad.
Brother Mubarak, you said that after
Jaffer, your background, Jaffer.
Oh,
someone's in your background.
Put your head up.
Yeah, I'm on video.
So I actually.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish. So, Brother Mubarak Johnson, I gotta differ on that opinion, my friend. So basically, the Mahdi, when he is in Medina running to Mecca, okay, after one of the caliphs gets killed, he's running in fear because he knows he's the Mahdi. And when he gets to Mecca, the people also have recognized that he's the Mahdi. On top of that, they take him out and they force bay'ah upon him. How are they forcing bay'ah upon a man who, like, think about it like this, logically speaking, if people have not known who the Mahdi is beforehand, how are a few people who are just randomly in the Mecca going to take this guy out and force bay'ah on him? And number three, the army of the Sufyani that's coming to kill him, I'm pretty sure that they know the hadith as well about the land collapsing. You know what I mean? They know that this person is the Mahdi. So what this concludes is that number one, the Mahdi will know he's the Mahdi. Number two, the people at that time will also have an idea of this individual, and they will force Mahdihood upon this person.
Yeah, no, I understand all of that. Let me try to clarify what I said. It's like for us here, we're sitting here in America, or whatever. Even our brother Syed Irfan, who's in Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a gamble, basically, because as we know, at least 50 to 60 people have claimed, even Juhayman, actually,
You're right.
he wound up like storming the joint. He was the most famous. But what I'm saying, let me just finish this real quick. What I'm saying is not that you have the hadith. I already know y'all have the hadith, and we're not going to argue with the hadith. Right. My position was just that for us sitting here in America, we ain't having no dreams, nor can we base any action off of anyone's dreams. Right. What's safe for us to do once we see things that are verifiable, like, okay, because people have even made it up to the Kaaba. People have actually given bay'ah to someone who had the aquiline nose and the wide forehead, all that stuff, the name, Ibn Abdullah, all that stuff has happened already. And people have been, as Mustafa has mentioned, people are in jail now today over that. People, so the safest thing for us is that if you see all those things happen, and I'm saying the most verifiable thing for you to then say that's the Mahdi is when the army gets swallowed up, then you'd be like, yeah, because what if the army comes
and it doesn't
don't have any obligations to do anything? That's the thing. We have zero obligations to do anything.
I agree.
Well, can I ask? Can I respond to that?
Hold on 1 second.
In the hadith, it mentions that in the hadith it mentions that the people will come from the east. They will pave the way for the Mahdi's sultanate. Why else are they paving the way for his rule if they do not know who he is? You're right about that. That is a clear proof. However, there are people who are helping him beforehand. This is something we can't deny.
Oh, so that's what it's about. You're going to be the helpers. These are you're going to be the army that's going to come and save him and support him.
Not the army. Not the army. It says a people. A people.
All right, real quick, we got a question from Salat. Salat, I'm pulling you on right now. You're on the air.
Put him on.
All right. You guys can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Assalamu alaikum.
I have a question. And this question anybody can answer. Is given limitation to what Allah can do or can't do considered a form of shirk?
Allah does what what's befitting his majesty. So Allah can do Allah. There's no limit to what Allah can do, but Allah does what he does based on his majesty and his position. So Allah's not gonna do, like, Allah's not gonna have a son. Allah's not gonna cohabitate with a woman, because that's not befitting his majesty, and nor does he need it. So Allah can do everything. So it would be shirk to say that Allah can't. I don't want to say it's shirk, but it would be incorrect for you to think that Allah is unable to give the Muslims victory, give a small group victory over a larger group, or something like that. But to say that Allah can do anything, Allah is not going to do anything. Just like the sunnah of Allah is to put his message, all the messengers were righteous, all of them. Allah's sunnah is to when he decides to do certain things, there's certain conditions that are met. A lot of the people who have if you look at all the ulama of the past, some of the scholars in the shuyukh or whatever, they had a certain way about them, a certain character. They were a certain way, and even though they may have they're not messengers, but their character and the way that they carried themselves was at a high level. And so that Allah placed so much good that came from them, and the sadaqah jariyah that comes from their works is because of their character and their conduct and their fitrah. Allah is not gonna let a fasik get the benefit and get all the barakah that comes with actually bringing that much benefit to the ummah. So just because the Mahdi, and I know I'm taking this a little long, just because the Mahdi is not going to be, you know, some well-known huge shuyukh or scholar or something like that, and Allah is going to rectify him one night, that doesn't, it's not saying that he's going to be a fasik. And that was my other point that I was going to get to Sayyid Irfan. I'll just segue into that, because he said he met him multiple times, and he went to his home and he visited with him for hours and hours and hours. And one of our jobs as Muslims is to advise our Muslim brother, help them with their conduct, the things that they're doing wrong or not doing right. We should tell them and mention them and give them. And this brother knows a lot of hadith, and he studied for 8 years plus, and so he's very knowledgeable. And so Muhammad Qasim, by his own admission, by his own admission, he is someone who does not pray regularly, maybe once a week or something like that. It was said he does not carry a beard. These things, and we know that this, if someone who studied for 8 years should know this, shaving the beard is a sin. It's sinful. It's open. It's open. A fasik is someone who deliberately and openly commits sins. This is something that you cannot do. Not praying. What is one of the ayahs that says, that's one of the people who go to the hellfire, those people who didn't pray. So my thing, if you knew, as you know, Sayyid Irfan, you know all the hadiths about praying and keeping the beard and all these things. Forget about the dreams. Forget about who you think he is. He's a Muslim brother. He's your Muslim brother. Did you tell him, brother, you need to grow your beard because Rasulullah said, trim your mustache and let your beard grow. You need to pray every single day, 5 times a day, because Rasulullah told us as Muslims that the difference between us and the iman and kufr, the difference between us and the non-Muslims, what is the prayer? So did any of you, Mustafa or Muhammad, but especially Sayyid Irfan, did any of you call him to these things instead of looking at the dreams and all these things?
I did.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
we do. It's not like we don't.
Wallahi, bro, I did. I'm like,
okay,
we do.
I have a question.
Can I answer his question first, though?
Go ahead.
Really quick. So I asked him, like, yo, bro, like, you saw the Prophet and you all this stuff, right? At least the beard, right? So he's like, look, he's like, he doesn't do it, right? So I'm like, why you don't grow your beard, right? Why you don't like grow it out, right? He's like, look, I've never done it in the past, and for me to do it now, especially saying this message, right? It's so that's kind of almost it. Hear me out. It almost kind of why I believe him a little bit more, right? Because anybody, it's simple, very simple, right? If I would want to spread a message, let's say I want to be the Mahdi, the first thing I'm gonna do, bro, I'm gonna just grab my thawb, my amama, right? My beard. I'm gonna look fresh. I'm gonna look the part. So Allah alam, and this is my conclusion.
You know what confirmation bias is, right?
Hear me out. My personal conclusion, right? So the Prophet and all the prophets, when they came to their nation, they came specifically to their nation with their own thing. So the example, the Prophet came to the Arabs, and their best thing was poetry, right? So Allah sent him the Quran. Isa came to people where the Jews, they were very proficient in medicine, and he gave him healing abilities, right? And he could raise the dead and all this stuff. Musa ﷺ came to people who were very proficient in magic, right? So their ability, right, was his ability was to overcome their magic, right? In our time, in our day and age, it's the social media, it's the clout, it's the features, it's how you look, right? It's how you carry yourself. It's about how many followers you have. So it's very easy to do a certain feature, right, and then act a certain way, right, and then get certain following, a certain group. So we've not only me, specifically a lot of helpers acting. Look, bro, if you want to continue spreading their dreams, everybody just looking at you, and they're just seeing your face, and they're not believing you just because you don't have a beard, right? Like they can even get to the point where, okay, we can believe the dreams, but when they see you, you don't have a beard. That's a big hurdle for a lot of people. A lot of shuyukh. I asked a lot of shuyukh specifically. Go ahead.
I would say salat is way bigger than that. If this brother is not praying salat regularly, that is huge. That's one of the fifth.
And
so,
do you see the problem with like even how you guys are approaching this? Like, if you want to spread the dreams, you got to at least grow a beard and pray. No, it has nothing to. It's like if you want to be a Muslim, like even in the message that he's supposedly given,
you guys are
he's
going
saying
about it.
No, like he's saying, like we just said the hadith. I'm watching the hadith. I'm gonna post it right here. He says that the main message that Allah, one of Allah's sunnahs, like when Mubarak was talking about Allah's sunnahs, is that when he gives a message to somebody, they actually exemplify that message. Like we said, we talk about the Quran, we have the hadith, the Rasul's behavior was the Quran. So if one of the messages that he's given is to remove shirk in all of its forms, one of the forms of shirk is not praying. Rasulullah said, verily between a man and between shirk and kufr is the negligence of prayer. So it's a contradiction right there. This is why when we say, when we go and we look at his dreams, there are clear red flags. It's like this, whether he's having these dreams or not, this is not Allah giving them to him.
So a point, going back to this point, right? With and this is Allah. Maybe you can correct me in this. So he said he doesn't pray to Hajjud prayer regularly.
No,
right?
he said he does not pray at all.
So no.
He said it was an interview. It was an interview with the African American sister. She said, "Do you pray?" He said, "No, not that much." She said, "Well, how much do you pray?" And he's like, "Oh, not that much." She said, "Well, like once a week?" And he said, "No, not even that much." This is his own words, his own mouth. He doesn't even pray once a week.
Okay, so hold up.
There's opinions from the scholars. Like if you miss a certain amount of prayers, you're actually outside of the fold of Islam. If you miss a certain amount of Jumas, you have to retake your Shahada.
So say it. Can you ask Sayyid Irfan, because he was there, right? Because he saw him there and saw an interaction with him. Because I personally never went over there. Because that's my next thing. I actually want to go and meet the guy and interact with him, right? So I've never met him, right? And there's a lot of helpers in Pakistan, and he goes to prayers with them specifically.
Yeah.
So
does he lead salats? Is he like involved in any local areas? Does he lead salat? Does he attend Juma regularly? These are huge questions.
Yes.
So you have to over that and go to dreams.
No. So I would ask your friend too. But hold on, somebody's behind you.
You got people going rogue behind you.
Yeah, bring brother Saeed on, because I'm interested in knowing the answers to this. And again, to be fair, the audience needs to understand who this brother is, what type of lifestyle he's living. I mean, we all know that people in certain positions have to personify some type of qualities, leadership qualities.
That is not true, brother, because the Mahdi himself, the hadith clearly says about the Mahdi that he will not be, he has to be rectified.
Pious.
Therefore, he is not correct.
Will he be a leader, yes or no?
But
he won't be.
Yes or no? That is a pious.
Hello.
No, I can't hear.
If you interact with him and talk to him, like
a person can have leadership qualities and not be a pious person.
But
there's a difference between like not being pious versus the complete opposite, which is of being a fasik, which he's clearly a fasik.
How is he a fasik if he admits to the prayer and to the beard that it is
that's
a sin?
openly sinning with no remorse.
Sinning. The beard alone is enough to make him a pure fasik, because he knows. I can see if he didn't know. And that's why I say, y'all brothers.
If he wanted to be a liar, he would just grow out his beard, just wear imamah.
No, if he wanted to be a Muslim, if he wanted to be a practicing Muslim, he would grow out his beard. Forget about the lying. If he wanted to actually follow Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his
quoted the hadith.
If he wanted to be a Muslim that follows Rasulullah, he would grow his beard.
You quoted the hadith.
To obey Allah and His Messenger, he would
Let's
pray.
just bring it back to what they quoted the hadith. The Mahdi will not resemble Prophet Muhammad's character, but he will resemble his conduct. How can you say anybody that does not pray and does not grow his beard and does not follow the basic elements of Islam, the 5 pillars, makes a lot? And you're saying he resembles the conduct of Rasulullah?
There's another hadith that says he will be rectified.
Yeah, it's not his physical feature, but his.
Okay, does the hadith say he's going to be a kafir? Because the Muslims pray. The Muslims pray. That's what separates. Listen, if a person just says, you know what, I ain't even going to pray. Guess what? The Muslims pray. That's what separates us. That's what makes us Muslim. That's what makes us Muslim. It's one of the 5 pillars. You have to believe in Allah and the Messenger.
And this is what
praying
we're trying to show y'all. How listen to what I'm about to say. From us looking from the outside in, and you have to kind of like step back from where you guys are and really think about this. You guys are actually taking the fact that he does not pray and does not wear a beard as a promotion of him, as a support for him, as an evidence for him.
It's not. It's not like. So it's not an evidence for him, right? We're asking him, specifically asking him, like, this would help you if your main goal.
It would
right?
help you be a Muslim.
If you're but it's not. The point comes down to, are you being truthful or not truthful?
No,
Y'all more
it's not
worried
about
about
that.
the
So
mission
look.
and the dreams and this prophecy being true. I mean, the person, comes first. It's like he's not even fulfilling the baseline base levels. Like, are you a Muslim? Yes or no? In order to click yes, there's certain things that you have to actually do. Iman is not just in your heart. And this is the position of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And that is,
Hold on.
Iman
Look,
is the
ultimately,
belief in your
it's
heart,
up to
the
Allah.
profession on your tongue, and then the
Ultimately
actions.
what?
One of those actions is to pray. So a person who
That's true.
refuses
True,
to
but
pray,
brother, it's not like the brother is
him.
neglecting prayer. He's not neglecting prayer. Look, this goes back to the
No,
hadith
he
about
is.
the
He
Mahdi.
is. No,
He
it's
said it
not.
himself.
He said it himself.
No, he says I don't pray regularly. That's what he
No,
says.
he said he does not pray more than once a week.
I would have to. I would have to verify that, but according to
That's not at all.
My understanding, no.
He abandoned the prayer. He has abandoned the prayer. He has abandoned the prayer.
Jaffer, I absolutely. Okay, look, this is what I'm gonna do.
Jaffer, do you got the link where we can send it to them? The link to the
They
video.
have that. If the one with the light skinned sister that has like the contacts in,
Let's
interview.
Let's just post the link. I mean, we don't, let him speak for himself. I mean, if that's what he said, that's what he said. I mean, we're just always quoting what the brother said.
This is what he said, and this is why it's very important. Like and this is what we're trying to show y'all. And again, we're very emotional because we care as Muslims. We have to have a jealousy, a vigor for protecting the Quran and the Sunnah 100%. And protecting Islam. And we're asking you, like, when we ask you guys these basic questions in the beginning, and you guys try to just jump to like hadith about the Mahdi, you're skipping we're skipping the whole thing. And we want to show that this stuff is very, very serious. Like, for instance, right now, and you don't have to answer this question because I don't want to get nobody in trouble, but just think, and the people watching think, if this man had a dream and said, meet me in Medina, we're gonna go take over the Kaaba, would you go? Don't answer. Don't answer.
Wait, hold on. I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna answer that.
No,
however, right? Because according to him, this is again according to exactly what he said, right? He's not gonna even get to that point without a lot of different things happening first. So I can say that he's the Mahdi all I want, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But this stuff has to happen.
He's not gonna end up there until certain events happen prior to his dreams, right? So specifically in the Pakistani region.
Yes.
Right. So he could say right now, hit me up. Yeah, hey Mustafa, yo, we're going to Mecca. Right. I'm like, bro, that's when Mubarak said, bro, we're not obligated to go. We're in America, all of us here, right? We're not obligated to go and do anything. I'm not gonna go over there if I give him bay'ah right now. That's not
exactly. It's not even the time.
I'm not gonna force any dreams to come true.
That's okay, so I want to point this out. When we ask people questions like this that are in a cult mindset, they always go to, it's not gonna. You guys just basically, long story short, you guys said he's not gonna do that.
No, because we have an understanding of the timeline.
Okay, no. Okay, I'm asking you really clearly right now. Forget the timeline, right?
Yeah.
Because we can, based off our interpretation, because like we already know, like these hadiths, they're not specific, right? So the timeline. So let me finish. The timeline is people's interpretation of the hadiths, because you already mentioned, Mustafa, about like we don't actually know what happens first or whatever. So the timeline is your own understanding based off of what scholars said, based on what hadith. So the timeline could be messed up, right? Based on your own understanding.
Agreed.
So 100%. It's possible that he could have a dream that's outside of your understanding of the timeline.
No, because I'm gonna tell you why. Because he specifically said in his dream, this cannot happen until this happens.
Yeah. So there are certain events that are supposed to happen.
A domino effect.
So real quick, if he has a dream that says, okay, this is what's gonna happen. Meet me all in Medina. We're about to take over the Kaaba. You guys would then say, oh, he's definitely false.
Yes, 100%. Because he's
because that's going against his dreams. It's going against his dreams.
Now,
yeah.
According to him,
okay, so
him,
now
Allah
what if
and
he
the
has a
following,
dream?
Wait, Jaffa,
What if he has a
wait,
dream
hold on,
that
I want to just
contradicts what Allah says in the Quran?
Then that's false too.
Okay, so now when Allah says in the Quran, right? When Allah says in the Quran, we should all know this as Muslims.
Uh-huh.
The time of the hour, like the last day,
Is unknown.
is it fixed or is it variable?
It's unknown. It's only up to only Allah.
No,
knows.
it's
Only
unknown.
Allah knows.
But is it fixed or is it variable?
Only Allah knows. Well,
hold
okay,
on. There's a
no, we don't know
hadith,
because Allah says in the Quran that the hour is fixed, is appointed time. Allah knows what time it is. He knows exactly when it's going to happen. It's not going to happen 1 second later, 1 second further.
So,
right?
So let me answer.
Why? No, listen,
let
me
him
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Why in Muhammad Qasim's dreams does Allah allegedly tell him, I have delayed the day of judgment for you?
Because the Prophet said the exact same thing.
The same thing. It's a hadith.
That same hadith that the Prophet said that if there was one day left on earth, Allah would extend it until the Mahdi would come.
Yeah.
That's directly from the Prophet's mouth.
Yeah, that's from the Rasulullah's mouth. That is a hadith.
Go ahead, Mubarak.
Okay, so this is why before we even get into the hadith, this is why I don't even like to get there, because you can keep using different ones. Right. First of all, Allah already says in Quran, in ajalallahi idha jaa la yu'akhkhar, when the appointed time of Allah comes, it's not going to change. So when Rasulullah says, when you put the hadith together with the Quran and you go with Quran first, it says if. So that doesn't mean that it will. That means if. And I'm sure, and I can't even bring you all the hadiths together because I don't have them in front of me. But the thing is,
that's what you should have done, bro.
No, what I should have done was just known that certain things that's very basic. I don't even need to go that far. We can't even get there. We can't even get to the point.
So
so you want to get into
very
dreams
clear.
And
I want to get into hadith.
No, Mubarak.
So when we just very clear put the proof that Allah says the hour is fixed at a point in time, to Allah, then you guys tried to counter with a hadith and said, "Oh, if." So I would extend it. But Allah says in the Quran that the time is fixed. So we know that the time of the hour is fixed, right? Do you guys agree that the time is fixed?
Yes.
Okay. So when Muhammad Qasim has a dream and Allah tells him, I have delayed the day of judgment for you. Not if, he says, I have delayed it. I have postponed it for you, Muhammad Qasim. Does that contradict the Quran?
For someone who don't pray.
Let me answer this one.
Does it contradict the Quran?
Does it? I'm gonna tell you why.
It doesn't?
It doesn't. I'm a perfect example,
Go ahead, bro.
Perfect example. Don't we know that Allah knows all things, right? Allah is written everything, right? Before even we were all created. 50,000 years and the Lawh Mahfuz, everything's been written, right? Mm-hmm. Did not the Prophet say that when you make dua, it changes qadr?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So Allah, you're making dua, oh Allah, give me $1 million, for example, right? And if it was written for you, he was already going to give it to you. So why we need to make dua, right? And Allah can change your other. So the point
according to you, you're saying according as Muslims that follow Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat, we can make dua and it could change qadr, Allah's qadr of when He actually established the day of judgment. So technically, we could all make dua and just keep postponing the day of judgment.
Well, I mean, this is if Allah answers it or not, right? So what I'm trying to say is, is
this according to the belief of Ahl Sunnah wal Jamaat?
Look, let me say something. Okay, look, he's right. The hour is fixed, but the dream in itself is just essentially enunciating on the hadith that has already been established. There is you cannot change the fixed time that Allah has already established.
Right.
Had you known the hadith, you would have understood.
I know the hadith. I do know the hadith. We just mentioned the hadith. The hadith is actually his dream is actually contradicting the hadith.
No, the hadith is exactly.
How is it? The hadith says
because in his dream, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll pull it up.
So Muhammad, so what you're saying is that Allah did extend the judgment was fixed, and then Allah extended the hour for Muhammad Qasim. Is this your position?
My position is that the dream is just it's basically
Is that your
touching
position?
upon the hadith. That's my position. But I don't believe the hour has been changed. I don't believe that.
Yeah, so my position specifically is that the Prophet
Okay,
even told us
so
this.
We gotta let
1500 years ago.
brother
I'll
Irfan
put
in.
it on the screen. Exactly what he said.
We gotta let brother Irfan in. He's asking to be let
He
in.
says, Allah said, no problem, Qasim. For you, hold on, I gotta put the other stuff up. He says, after seeing Allah's mercy, I felt more at ease. I told Allah how I met a girl and I wasted all my time chasing after her, and in the end, I couldn't even get her. So Allah said, no problem, Qasim. For you, I have extended the time before Qiyamah. You must be very tired.
No,
You
Josh,
should
why you
go
gotta read
home
it
and
like
rest
that, man?
and work on any day that you
Come on,
choose.
man.
And when you finish your work, then tell me, so then I can establish Qiyamah. Does that contradict the hadith? Does that contradict the Quran?
Hey,
You
put that
tell
on the
me.
screen. Put that on the screen, y'all.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say this. Let me just say this, man. See, what happens a lot of times is we've done this so many times. A lot of times, people that they're following or believing in someone, we wind up knowing their sheikh stuff better than they do. We wind up telling them stuff that they didn't know. And first, they think we're making it up. And then they kind of find out. Then when they hear it, they're like, "Yeah, that can't be true." It's like,
No, I was saying why he's saying it like that. Like,
yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that a lot of this stuff is like when you hear it. I mean, you have to admit. I mean, come on now. I mean,
he's having a conversation with Allah about chasing a girl. Is this befitting of Allah? Is this befitting of Allah to have a conversation with a man about him chasing a girl?
And he delayed the day.
Why? What's wrong with like? Don't we all act like, oh Allah, maybe I get married?
Does Allah say, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna delay the day of Qiyamah for you to get married?
He said Allah says don't even come close to zina. So he's chasing a girl. He should have been chasing her father.
He was trying
should
to
have been
marry
chasing her
this girl.
father. Yes, if he said he
girl.
was chasing the girl, then that's one step. The step actually, as a Muslim, the step is you talk to the girl's father. Is that in a dream? Is that in a dream where he talked to the girl's father or brother or wali or something like that?
He was trying to marry the girl. If you want to get more detailed, he was trying to marry her. And
I spent my time chasing after her, and in the end, I couldn't even get her. All right, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe the chasing meant that he was talking to her father. All right, I'll redact that. I'll take it back.
Okay.
Well, fun fact, brothers. Fun fact. Or you guys want to hear something funny? Like seriously, I know we're all.
Yeah, go ahead.
We're all brothers, man. Come on.
But the cult that we were referring to, that my brother Mubarak was referring to, truthfully, we actually have the Imam Mahdi as well, or the cult has the Imam Mahdi as well.
That's awesome. That's
so
awesome. Okay.
Now,
that's fine.
So the reason why we're so serious about these type of situations and we're very familiar is because we deal with this on a regular basis. We deal with all the evasiveness. We deal with all the twisting and tweaking up of certain hadiths. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Can I ask you a question real quick? I'm sure this Mahdi has some sort of prophecies and he has some sort of things that he's claiming that will come true in the future, correct?
No.
So what do they believe?
He doesn't have anything.
Where in the hadiths is to say the Mahdi is going to have prophecies?
No, I'm talking about this. But what do they believe in? Where is their belief of this guy's?
So it's Pakistani, and allegedly, and that's
all of these different things. The same thing that you're got.
No. It's different. It's different because
his name's Muhammad Noor.
We've heard this
Muhammad Noor.
You asked me before why I believe in him, right? That was a very specific thing, right? And ultimately, what I was trying to say is that he literally came with his main message, which is Tawheed, right? And dude, there's people who reach out to me specifically, right? This guy from Turkey. There's a lot of Imam Mahdis out there, right? They reach out to me, right? And they're like, yo, I'm the Mahdi, right? I'm like, okay, what are you talking about, right? What are you saying? And now one person, right, has said what Muhammad Qasim said. And his name is Muhammad Qasim bin Abdul Karim, by the way. It's not just Muhammad Qasim, right?
Yeah, but it's not Muhammad bin Abdullah, right?
What is that?
Where's the hadith that says that it has to be Muhammad bin Abdullah?
Right.
So
I'm just asking if his name's Muhammad bin Abdullah, is it or no?
No, it's Muhammad.
What does the Arabic say in the hadith?
You want to Ismu, right? His name is
Ismu. Ismuhu.
Yeah. So
his name is my name. That's the translation. You can say like I don't know. And so if you have different wordings,
it could be
wordings of hadith, please. I mean, we're willing to look at them, but I mean, the thing is this is so.
Yuwatihu is like it's similar to. That's what it
yeah.
translates to.
There's
Yeah, it's
there's
similar to.
multiple hadith,
But
and when we
hold up,
have multiple
what is
hadith,
the
we use them all together. And when you look
Okay.
at the majority of the hadiths, they say
Yeah.
have the same name.
No. The Arabic
Yes.
is it'll be similar. The Arabic is, hold on, I'm trying to find it.
We can post it for you. We can
What's
post
it?
the ones.
What's-
There's
what's-
multiple
what's-
Yeah,
hadiths.
you look up Yuwatihu. Look up what that means.
No, what is
what's the
that's what there is one hadith that has the one that says similar, that you could be translated to similar like that. Yes.
Even same.
But
Yeah.
Even same.
There's
is
more hadith that says same. His
Right.
name is my name. His father's name is my father's name. His
Right.
name is my name.
Yeah.
Even that still applies. Like the
No, it
Prophet
doesn't, because Abdul Kareem is
Muhammad-
not Allah.
Yeah, yes, it is.
No,
Yes,
it's
it
not.
is.
Allah is
Yeah,
a
it is.
unique name to Allah.
No, yeah, exactly. Allah has
It's
how many names?
Allah has 99 names.
Exactly, he has 99 names.
He
So
does.
if I call Allah, ya Jabbar, am I calling Allah or am I calling somebody
Ya
else?
Mutakabbir. I'm
You're-
calling Allah.
You're
calling
calling
Allah.
Allah. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's one of Allah's names. So
Right, so
the
I'm
name
calling-
the name Abdullah is not the same as Abdul Kareem.
Yes, it is. It's a slave
is.
of Allah.
Okay, so if I
Slave of
call
Allah.
Abdul Kareem, if I say, hey Abdullah, he's gonna turn around and know I'm talking to him?
What is the
Yeah,
meaning though?
yeah, that's
What is the
slave of
meaning?
Allah.
No.
What is the
Is he
meaning?
gonna know I'm talking to him?
If
brother.
If there's Abdullah, Abdul Kareem, Abdul Jabbar, Abdul Rashid, they're all lined up and their backs are to me. And I say, Abdullah, are all of them gonna turn around and look at me?
You're acting like Allah is 99 Allah. There's only one Allah.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you call
We're talking
Allah,
human-
you call Allah.
We're
But yeah, we're not saying I'm not saying this guy's Allah or anything.
Okay, hold on. First,
No.
I
We're
want to
talking
see
about a
where it
person's
says
name.
same. Because I looked it up. It says Yuwatihu.
Yeah,
It doesn't say what you're saying.
Ismuhu ismihi.
Yuwatihu means an agreement. You have to read
No,
the whole
I-
thing.
That's a different hadith. That's a different hadith.
Which one?
It
Which
says-
one? What is the hadith? Can you give it to me? I'll look it up right now.
Hey yo, why y'all looking, man? Listen, for the brothers in the chat, Ibn Ershad, and listen, how am I arrogant? They say I'm arrogant because I'm smiling. I mean, I'm just have a smile on my face. We're not arrogant, don't.
But these are little nuances though. And
Yeah,
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
it's not so nuanced. It's like very clear.
This is good.
But
It's
you
very
know what this?
clear.
You
It's
know
What
this
is it?
whole-
What is it? Can you send it to me? I'm.
Yep.
Is it on
Right in the
sunnah.com?
chat.
So
Right
so
here.
going back to answer Hassan's question, the reason I believed in him is because again his message was Tawheed. Only the prophets came with that message, right? Nobody else came with that message.
No, prophets
I'm
came
not-
with it, and scholars, then any Muslim after Rasulullah,
Right.
like the message we
Understand.
preach is Tawheed. We preach Tawheed.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
But
That does not make us a Mahdi.
Who's making claim? Have you even any of the person who claims to be the Mahdi? Have they ever came and said that anything about Tawheed at all? And as unanimously no. Even your cult, right?
I don't know, because we don't have to look at them. Yes, the cult that we're from, he preached Tawheed too.
How?
Hold up. Let me answer the question, because see, this is the thing. What did the other cult we were talking about? What they did a lot of times was they would ooh and ah about the ABCs 1, 2, 3s of Islam. What the Sheikh was saying, we said like y'all should pray and y'all should always remember Allah, and they would be like, man, wow, yeah, look at what he's saying to us. What you're saying is that look, all these other Mahdis, everybody that claims to be a Mahdi, newsflash, is lying. Anybody who's claiming it, and
Yeah, all
many
the time,
people claiming it,
yeah.
they're all liars. But the
Right.
point is, you're saying, well, look, he's calling to Tawheed. That's wonderful, brother. But guess what? Allah already talks about Tawheed all throughout the Quran. Rasulullah
Yeah,
talks
that's
about
true, but-
Tawheed, and this is already there for us. It's already there.
Brother,
You actually don't
100%.
need him.
There's more to
I-
that. There's
Tawheed.
more to that. It goes beyond that. It says, until and unless the Muslims abolish shirk from our lives, Allah's help will not come. Okay? And shirk right now, it's something that is taken very lightly. You have images in the Kaaba, in Makkah, Medina.
No, there's no images in the Kaaba. There's no images in the Kaaba.
There is.
That's a lie.
People wear
That's a
shirts.
lie.
No. People
That's
wear
a lie.
shirts with images. There's ID
Oh,
badges.
people wear
There's
shirts.
a whole
Okay,
bunch
this
of
is
stuff.
very, very different than saying there's actually images in the Kaaba. Someone coming in with a shirt or a badge. So
Yeah,
be clear.
yeah.
So you say people come in with images on their clothes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not
I mean,
because
It's
okay.
still in there,
Very,
brother.
very
It's still
different.
in there. It's still in there, right? Was this allowed during the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It wasn't.
So
So-
real
so-
quick, so I want to ask you guys:
Go ahead.
Is it you guys mentioned it before, but I want to get it clear for the audience. Is it mandatory for us to follow the message in Muhammad Qasim's dreams
So ultimately, right?
as Muslims?
As what he's saying, right? He's saying ultimately that he just needs awareness, right, to come, right?
So
So
what happens if we don't believe in his dreams?
So if he's telling the truth, then exactly what he says is gonna happen. If he's not telling the truth,
Wait. Before I'll let you finish, brother. I just looked up the Arabic and it says it matches. It just says it matches my name and it matches the name of my father. But when you break it down to look at the word yuatihu, it's essentially it goes down to it's like it's an agreement with. So matching the name Muhammad matches Abdullah matches with the name Abdul Karim.
So if I say a square matches a circle,
But we're talking about Allah here. You're talking about geometry.
No. If I say a square matches a circle because they're both shapes.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
That makes sense to you?
When Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam came, he was called as Ahmad. Even Uthman, radiallahu anhu, in his dreams, the angel said, "O sleepers, arise! Ahmad has emerged." And then the rabbis, that's how they would debate. They would say, "No, the priests, they would say his name is not Ahmad. He was prophesied as Ahmad, but it matched with the name Muhammad."
Let me ask you guys. As far as like being Muslims that follow Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at,
okay,
which Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'at scholar said what you guys are saying about the Mahdi's name?
Many.
They said his name's going to be any version of Allah's attributes.
Some even say Ahmad. Some even give Aqib. Aqib is also a name of Rasulullah.
There's 5 different names.
There's even a scholar in where is it?
Was Muhammad Qasim one of the names of Rasulullah?
Qasim was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Abu Qasim.
His
no, not Abu Qasim. Not Abu Qasim.
Qasim too, yeah,
it was Abu Qasim, but there was also Qasim. He said, "For I am Qasim." He called himself Qasim.
Oh gosh. Okay, but anyway, so let's go back to the dreams. As Muslims, are we obliged to believe and follow these dreams?
So
no one is forcing you to believe in the dreams, brother. The dreams are just we're just sharing the dreams. That's it.
Hold on.
Right. No one asked about forcing you. I said, as Muslims, as we hear these dreams, do we have to follow and believe in these dreams?
So
not talking about y'all forcing us.
Just yes or no, y'all.
So perfectly, I want to answer this perfectly like this, right? This is almost, if it's true, right? If it's true, then this is a glad tidings from Allah directly, giving us a warning of what's going to happen, right? If it's not true, then it's not true. Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. Whether you believe it or not, its nature is bound to perish,
right? If he's lying, right?
It's gonna perish.
If he's lying, then all right.
All right. So here I'll answer the question a better way.
But
are his dreams a part of Islam?
It's what do you mean exactly?
In what sense, brother?
Part of the religion of Islam.
So he's
meaning like for instance, when I talk about Islam,
I have not come with nothing new. I have not come with nothing new.
No, it is new. It is new. Well,
no, I'm not nothing new.
What I'm asking is, as Muslims, when I say part of Islam,
says yes, his dreams are part of Islam.
Okay.
Your sheikh, the most knowledgeable amongst you, has said yes, they are part of Islam.
Did you guys mute him or something?
I don't know.
He's not muted. He's on.
I think he's muted.
No, he's not. Definitely not muted.
Okay.
In a part where
yes, his
he said he's in the backstage. He said he's in the backstage.
No, he's. I mean, maybe I have to do it again. He's right there under our screen. He's there.
Yeah, no, he said he's backstage. Let me tell him to come back in.
Yeah, I don't.
So anything. So real quick, he says it's part of Islam. So by consensus, things that are part of Islam are number one, the Quran, okay, the authentic Sunnah, the hadith of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then the ijma' of the Sahaba, how they understood the religion. These are things that we can say that are part of Islam. Really, it's the Quran and the Sunnah. Everything else, everything is derived from that. Even the understanding from the Sahaba and the Salaf al-Salih. All of that is they're just trying to pull from the Quran and the Sunnah. Really, this is what makes something
100%.
part of Islam.
You're right.
So he said, your sheikh, the most knowledgeable amongst you, and the most knowledgeable amongst all of us. We'll give this his title. has said is part of Islam. I 100% disagree. His dreams are not part of Islam because unless he can say his dreams are part of Islam, uh, for him maybe, but doesn't make him part of Islam, like something that you can base any actions or beliefs on. You cannot
You
base any action or any belief on his dreams.
So what action specifically?
no, like, I want to say something real quick. You're right. I believe whatever you said. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that I have conveyed the message 3 times, and this was during his illness before he passed away. He said, I've conveyed the message. There's nothing left of the features of prophethood. But he said the only thing that is left of the features of prophethood is a good dream that a person sees. And then he continues in another hadith where he essentially says, near the end of times, the dreams of the believer will hardly be false because they will give glad tidings to the believers, or will help them to stay patient and steadfast in their faith. Now, you're saying that, yeah, the dreams, they don't coincide with the hadith. Am I correct? That's what you're saying? Muhammad
What
Qasim's
I'm
dreams?
saying is that these dreams,
okay,
even all the hadith that you're mentioning about dreams and they'll be true, there's nothing about them. Yeah, you can have a dream that you think something is true.
Yeah.
The thing is, look at the problem that would cause. What if all of us had a dream? All of us having different dreams. So whose dreams do we follow?
What's the probability of your dreams coming true consecutively?
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
I don't like to get down this road. No, let's be real clear. Let's be real clear. I've had plenty of true dreams. Plenty of true dreams.
Same here.
Right? I don't go around and think and start telling the people and say, okay, now you got to follow the stuff that I see in my dreams.
What if Allah commanded you to share your dreams?
Then I would know it's not a true dream.
How?
Then I would know.
Allah.
Because Allah is not going to command me to deliver my dream.
So you have to understand the sunnah of Allah.
Putting limitation on Allah.
No, we're not putting a limitation on Allah. You know, I want to respond to this. No. I want to respond to this because there's a few people that mentioned this in the chat. You know, the same people that bring up the rebuttal of you're putting limitations on God. You know who the same people that say that the argument? Christians who try to defend God having a son. God, we know Allah. Allah has no limits, but Allah does not lie.
His majesty.
Allah does not lie, right?
Of course, yeah.
Could he lie?
No, it does not befit his majesty.
Right. Just like him saying that, you know what, I'm going to give you a message in your dream, even though I said prophethood is done. Wahi is done. Right?
Yes.
The only type of wahi we get is ilham, where inspired good dreams, pious dreams, true dreams that come true. Right?
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
But as far as something coming in my dream and saying, okay, now go tell people their dream and spread the news of your dream, then right there, I know that is not Allah. That is not
question for you. Okay, question for you. It says the Mahdi would be guided in a single night, and the scholars they've used like he would be inspired. Allah would rectify him in a single night. Now, according to you, it cannot be. Allah cannot come and rectify him himself. It has to be something else within a night.
Who said according to me? No, you're putting words in my mouth.
No, you
this
said Allah cannot. You said Allah cannot.
No, I did not
come into the dreams. Yeah, you did.
No, I did not.
You said if Allah comes in your dreams, you won't do it.
No. I'm saying no. Be clear. Be clear what I'm saying, because this is what you're trying to interpret what I said based off of your misunderstanding of Islam, right? I did not say Allah cannot come to somebody and talk to them in their dreams, and rectify them in their dreams, and inspire someone in their dreams, and guide them in their dreams. But as soon as something in my dream says, now you go and spread the message I'm giving you in your dreams, I know that whatever told me that in their dream is not Allah.
Why?
Because Allah only gives wahi, messages that needs to be delivered to the people, to prophets. And Allah says in the Quran, Rasul Sallallahu is the last prophet. There is no more wahi. So there's nothing that anybody's going to receive in their dreams that Allah is going to tell them and require them to go spread to people.
So look,
these aren't wahi though, bro. You're confusing wahi with with glad tidings. Yes, you are.
No,
these are glad tidings. This has nothing to do with wahi. We're not bringing anything.
It does have to do with wahi, because wahi, when you use the term wahi, ilham, they use the word ilham. The word wahi in the Quran is used for the same word, a derivative of the word is the same thing used when Allah inspired the mother of Moses, when Allah inspired non-prophets. Right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing we're gonna get from Allah, right? Because when you look at the hadith, when it says about 46 of prophethood, we're talking about the realms of wahi and ilham, true dreams. Allah is not going to inspire anybody to go deliver a message that Rasulullah and Allah have already completed 1450 years ago.
So Jafar, I just want to, I agree with you. I just think there's a misconception here where the
Yeah,
fact
there's a misunderstanding. We're
where,
not bringing anything new.
where even
No,
Muhammad
no,
Qasim-
no, there is something new. Because
No, no,
here's
no.
what's
Brand new.
new.
It,
Here's what's
actually, it's
new.
not new. People have done it over the years after Rasul. It started even
Yes.
before Rasul passed away. People were saying they had dreams and they were another person who was getting ilham and wahi from Allah. People have started claiming this even before Rasul passed away, and they've been doing it in different ways, in different forms. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people have been
And
doing
we're-
this very same thing.
And we're telling you, you can spot the liar because whatever their inspirations are, they don't come true. Correct?
Yeah, even right now, if it
Wait,
happened,
No,
brother,
that's
Brother
not
Johnson,
true.
Yes or
No,
no?
listen.
Wait,
Where this
I'm
is
asking
what's
Mubarak a
new.
question.
This
Time
is
out.
what's new.
Wait,
This is
wait,
what's
Jafar,
new.
Jafar, look,
There's nothing in the Quran and Hadith that tell you that the Mahdi is going to have dreams that come true.
So Jafar,
Nothing.
let me answer a couple of things. Even throughout Islamic history, right? For example, during Salahuddin's, the Nuruddin Zinki's time too, as well. He had a dream that that people were gonna try to take the prophets from his own grave.
Let me stop you.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's fabrication. Don't say it. It's fabrication. It's not true.
Okay, there are
Saying what?
There's also
He
many
had a
incidents-
dream that those Jewish guys that were living in Medina, they're trying to dig a tunnel, and he went and stopped them. That's fake. That's fake
Okay,
news.
hold on. Let me seriously. Let me stop the chat for 1 second. Seriously, there's something serious happening in the chat, and this I can't let this be lost, right? Because you two brothers seem very sincere, and I don't feel like there's any sort of attempts to mislead. I think you're sincere in what you're trying to do, and you're trying to find the truth. I do believe that. But see, the problem is what we're having here in this chat. There has been all types of people saying, "Oh, we're gonna regret not believing this, and wait to the day of judgment, and then you'll be sorry." All these things. These are people.
No, ignore them. You're
No.
No,
But see, this is the problem. This is the thing. This is the main thing. This is why we do what we do, because so many people get misled, and they're believing the wrong beliefs. Sometimes we'll talk to leaders of of these groups or whatever. The leadership will say, "No, it's not this, not that." But you'll have some random low-level people believing stuff that's 100% shirk. The most extreme things they're posting on their statuses and making videos and all these things, and it's so outlandish, giving people the attributes of Allah. So you have people who are in your group, your supporters, followers, or whatever, and they're talking about stuff that y'all not actually saying, but they're getting it from somewhere. As far as how we're going to regret not believing, we've delivered the message, as if you delivered the message of Islam to us and we rejected it, so therefore we're going to face the consequences. It's like,
well,
And
even
they get that directly from his dreams. They get that directly from the messages in his dreams.
This is my understanding. My understanding too is that there's in the Allah says in the Quran, what's it called? Those who came before the Fath, right? لا يستوي منكم من أنفقوا من قبل الفتح وقاتلوا أولئك أعظم الدرجات من الذين أنفقوا وقاتلوا من بعد الفتح, right? وكل وعد الله الحسنى, right? So there are levels to certain things. We even in Islam, we believe the Sahaba came in early, the early batch are better, right? We're not saying that, oh, if you don't follow this.
And this is why you guys think that you guys are getting in an early thing to believe this guy, believe in him and being the Mahdi. You guys are getting early. You guys are going to be part of this blessed group that doesn't get questioned because you're going to be there with Isa alayhi salam. This is what you guys believe. But this is the problem. You guys, this is added.
Hold on. What's the problem with that? The Sahabi also chased goodness. What is the problem with that? You said earlier that there is no sin believing a person.
You are putting this as a part of Islam. You're putting even in Muhammad Qasim's dreams, he says that Allah tells him even you guys had already just said that, like, now Sayyid Irfan clearly said this is part of Islam. You guys were very clearly going to say no, this is not part of Islam. And then when he said yes, I looked at both of y'all reactions, and you both were like, "Wait a minute, I seen it." Okay,
talking about what?
In his dreams, Muhammad Qasim says that Allah tells him, "I'm going to punish those who don't believe in your dreams." Do you
So let
guys
me ask-
believe that?
So do either of you think that the people who do not believe in Muhammad Qasim's dreams are going to be punished by Allah?
I personally
This is
don't believe
how I see it.
so.
This is how I see it. So the punishment, the quote unquote, the punishment that you guys are talking about is basically this. There's there's World War III, which is on the horizon, and the majority of the areas that will be affected are the Muslim areas. Okay? Now these dreams are coming to Bro Qasim. They're explaining to him about the events, the future events, and everything that's going to happen. And there is a hadith where Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, when you see the black standards, then go join that army. For among that army is the Mahdi. So this has already been, even if you have to crawl through ice, this has already been established there. Okay? He's coming with these dreams, he's narrating the dreams. If you can put two and two together, you can kind of figure out how everything is going to play out.
Also, the fact is that it's just a warning, right?
It's just a warning.
In the end of the day, it's Allah's qadr is going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
Right? But also, Allah never sends punishment or adhab without a warning first to the people.
He's already given us the warning.
100%. I agree with you. I agree with you.
Why are we talking about this related to Muhammad Qasim?
Because in the time frame of everything, did not Allah tell us that? Did not the Prophet tell us that there is going to be in the end of time somebody who's going to unite the Muslim ummah?
Yeah, the Mahdi.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
So all we're trying to say is we're putting one and one together, right?
You're making leaps and bounds. It's not one like you're just
according to you. Yes, that's what you're saying, that we're making leaps and bounds. We're just saying I'm just taking the evidences that I have in front of me, and I'm putting it, especially not only just with what he's saying, also geopolitical. Like just look at what's going on.
Right.
In the world.
So as Muslims, are we supposed to engage in stuff that is doubtful or stay away from it?
So this eschatology part, the whole thing. I don't know. Did I freeze?
No, yes.
No, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
So yeah. So the eschatology part, like I said, it's very, very tricky, right? Even during the time when the Prophet came in Mecca, right? Most people didn't even recognize him, right? Very few batches. Even during Isa's time, when he came to the rabbis of his time, the scholars of his ummah did not recognize him, right? It's just the sunnah of Allah that there are certain struggles that happen, right? So you can say it. Like, you're looking at us and like, all right, guys, you guys are going on different fringes, and you deal with a lot of cults a lot, right? So you're taking those biases as well and applying it to everything that you deal with.
Yeah, that's true.
Without taking the fact can this possibly even be slightly true?
Yeah, and Brother Jafar, I also asked you, if the dreams start coming true, would you believe? You said no. And I said, even if he becomes a leader of Pakistan chosen by the people, you said no.
What is here's the problem with you guys, right?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
His dreams coming true. Where in the Quran and Sunnah says when some guy's dreams start coming true, and he becomes the leader of some country that was drawn on a map by someone from England, you must follow him.
The Mahdi.
Okay, to answer that
Where does
question,
that say that?
The Prophet said
to answer,
now, do you need it to be spelled out? That's very different.
Huh?
The Prophet said it.
Said
1400 years ago. He said, when you see the Mahdi, the person from my lineage.
When I see the Mahdi, have we seen the Mahdi?
No, hold on, bro. Sorry, Jafar.
You have to admit right here that
what was your question?
You guys believe in the Mahdi. You guys believe he is, right?
Yes.
You believe he's the Mahdi, and you can provide whatever sources and hadiths that fit your narrative. Like, this is why we believe him. We're not going to challenge why you guys believe him, but you also have to accept that our justifications and our support of why he's not the Mahdi are also possible.
Brother Jafar, I have a question
he might
for you.
be or might
Brother
not.
Jafar,
right?
I have a question for you. What does the Mahdi mean?
Let me say what I'm saying. Of someone who's guided.
Who's guiding him?
It doesn't mean fasik.
No. Who's guiding him?
Allah's the only one who guides.
And how does Allah guide? What are the different ways
Allah guides?
Allah guides?
How did Allah guide you? See, we've done our research. We know these rebuttals. How did Allah guide you?
Dreams.
He guided you through dreams. You became Muslim because you had a dream, and Allah came down to you and said, "Take your shahada."
No.
Does guidance only happen once? Does guidance only happen once?
I'm asking Allah. No, I'm asking you. You said,
No,
how did Allah
I asked
guide
you a
him?
question.
I
Does
don't know.
guidance happen only
Okay,
once?
we'll go back and forth. You ask a question, I'll answer, then you answer. You said, how
Okay.
would Allah guide him? Allah knows best because Allah did not say he was not specific on how he would guide him in the Quran and the Sunnah. So we say Allahu Alam. So for anything that you to say how you think Allah will specifically guide him is you speculation. Speculation. So then I ask you, how did Allah guide you?
No. It's not speculation. Allah mentions it is not
So
fitting
Allah
for a
says,
man
I'm
that
going to
Allah.
guide the Mahdi through dreams.
Not the Mahdi. I'm speaking about man here. It is not fitting for a man that Allah should speak to him except by inspiration or from behind the veil. And dreams are essentially like a veil. Okay. Now going back to my point, you said, how did Allah guide you? Yeah, I said dreams. And then you said, oh, you became a Muslim because of a dream. And I want to ask you, is it guidance only on one thing? It can happen on multiple occasions.
Allah can
This is
guide.
why the
No, you asked the
name
question.
Mahdi itself.
You asked
The
the
name
question.
Mahdi
Means the guided, the ones who guided, the guided one. Right.
There you go.
Allah has so many means of guiding people. It could come through dreams, just inspiration. He could just put it in your heart. Right? You guys are assuming that, oh, it's got to be through these true dreams. Did Allah say that? No, he did not. Did
The
Rasul
hadiths
say
point to
that?
that.
No,
Yes,
he did not.
The hadiths point to that. The hadiths point to that.
No, it doesn't.
The hadiths
The
point to
hadith does
that.
not say anything about ruhya.
The hadith says near the end of times, the only component of prophethood that remains is the true dreams.
And the pious believer will have nothing but true dreams. Right?
The truthful, not the pious, the truthful.
No, pious. It doesn't. No,
truthful.
It's pious. See, this is what this is why you got to be very clear. So you guys as
that's why we got to have the Arabic. We got to have the Arabic.
We have to have the Arabic.
I have it here.
We have to have the Arabic, and I
have it here.
Arabic,
Muslim 4200. The truthfulness of the dream is related to the sincerity of the dream. Those who have the most truthful dreams are those who are the most truthful in speech.
Read in Arabic.
Bring the other brother. You
post
said
it, post it, and I'll read it. I'll read it.
But even still, what I'm saying is, right? As Muslims that are Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, and I want to go back to Mustafa Ahmed, right? Where
okay, so yo, brother,
you said
brother
you went to the scholars.
showed me his screen. It says he's muted.
Oh, he's not. He jumped out. He's back in again. Here we go. But so when you said you went to all the scholars, right? As Muslims that follow Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, us being laymen, we have to defer to the scholars. So did any scholar suggest to you or approve of you following this guy as Imam Mahdi?
So
there are some scholars who believe in his dreams, and then there are also some scholars that are waiting to see that, yes, if it comes true, then they will speak on the matter. Because at the end of the day, I said it before, the dreams, if you want to know a liar from somebody who's telling the truth, if a man is having dreams, they're coming true one after the other, it cannot be from shaitan. Shaitan does not know the future. This is what I'm trying to get at. Allah
Shaitans and jinns, we know from
they
Islam
they'll give you
shaitans
99 lies and they'll give you one truth. You guys know this.
Okay.
That's how the black magicians work.
Right. So so it is possible, it is feasible that a person can get told the future by a jinn. Right?
The future, you said?
Yeah.
The
we
future,
know this as Muslims.
not future.
Yeah, future. Yeah,
the future.
But like they'll give you 99 lies and one truth.
Ahmed,
you know about this. Hold on.
Mustafa, what did the scholars tell you about Muhammad Qasim?
So a lot of them, they were just quiet on the matter. They're like, look, I haven't done a lot of investigation, so they just stay quiet. And they said, I sent his dream specifically to them. Right?
Now,
and I said, look, I'm a layman. I don't know, right?
Now, if these scholars said like, yeah, he's definitely not the Mahdi, it's false, don't follow him, would you say, okay, I'm gonna leave it alone? So
at this point, where it comes down to is you got to, okay, if you're going to say don't leave it alone, because a lot of people say, hey, it's still it's a touchy subject. People in the past have come and claim certain things. Like, we all know that, right? So they just based on that alone, they said just leave it alone.
Well, right now we now have scholars, like you went to Yasir Qadi. Yasir Qadi made a clear video saying that this guy's false.
So the issue with that
Mufti Menk, Numan Ali Khan, we have people that are well known, learned, people that are in the Ummah that are clearly saying this guy's false. We have Muhammad Qasim saying himself that they went to the ulama of Pakistan and brought the dreams, and they were quiet and they rejected them. So if we have the ulama, and as us as layman Muslims, we have all these scholars that they're either
I think they
one
were quiet.
being
Yes,
silent
some of
according
them
to
did
you,
rejected it. They were
and
quiet also.
two, and okay, they're either it says they were either silent or they're rejected. So as a layman Muslim, as we know Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'at, we know that the hadith
Yeah.
says that the prophets are the scholars are the inheritors of the prophets. The Quran ayat says, if you don't know, ask those who know. As laymen, we are
Yeah.
obliged to defer to what the rulings and stuff that the scholars and the consensus of the scholars of the Jama'at say. And
I
we have
agree with
all
you.
these
I
scholars,
agree. Yeah,
and
yeah,
all these
you're
scholars
right.
are saying, don't follow this guy. It's not true.
No. You're
No,
right. You're
no.
right. Jaffa,
I
you're
think
right.
we're
But the
both on.
problem here is they did not even investigate. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
That's
If they
the
were
issue.
to
No, they no.
investigate
How
and
do you
bring
know they didn't investigate?
Because I
because
asked
of the
them,
remarks they made.
specifically.
How
We
do
got,
you
we
know?
got
No,
people doing
this is
mubahala in the chat, man.
this is why this is the problem. You guys assumed
Oh
they
my
didn't
goodness.
investigate. You guys assumed they didn't investigate because they didn't agree with what you guys
We
said.
got
No,
mubahala in the
I
that's
chat.
not
asked them
true.
specifically, Jaffa, I
How
asked
do
them
you? Because you
I
can't.
asked them,
If we're
Jaffa,
being logical, rational people, you cannot say they did not investigate. You can say I think they didn't investigate,
Jaffer,
but you
if
don't.
you come to me with a message and I say you're mental, get away from me, you have no idea what you're talking about, you're crazy, I have not heard you. You know, during the time of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there was a partially like insane lady. Rasulullah
Her
Sallallahu
dreams
Alaihi Wasallam
bizarre
even
also.
took her concerns and he listened to her.
Yeah. So
You know what
here's
I
the
mean?
thing. Here's the thing. It is very clear that they did do their investigation. Very clear. Because if you listen to what they're saying
Yeah.
specific facts about Muhammad Qasim,
Like what?
where he's from, what he said in his dreams, what his
Hold
followers
on.
are doing.
The ulama say that the Mahdi
And
would be
then
from the east.
and then look, listen, and then the one brother, Mustafa, you said that Sheikh Uthman said, yeah, they've been messaging me for months or years or whatever.
he just said, like, I've never looked. He specifically said, I've never looked into it.
Okay,
like,
but we have
They haven't looked
Mufti
into it.
Menk,
my thing.
we have Yasir Qadi, and you're saying just because they're saying this guy's nuts, he's delusional. Now
Brother,
you're saying,
if
okay, now he must not have investigated it.
Yeah,
No. So this no. So I specifically asked them.
Yeah.
Like I've went to so many, and I asked them specifically, guys, look at his dreams, and you're knowledgeable. You guys know this, what I do not know, right? I can at least be humble enough to say I'm not arrogant. I'm saying I know everything. I don't know. So I'm like, you guys are the scholars of our ummah, right? Please look at his dreams and tell me, because I want to know if it's false. Give me something from his
That's
dreams
not what we want.
saying that this does not match the sunnah. Give me one evidence, and I'll drop it.
I gave you one.
No, which one was what? Which was that?
Where we posted where Allah says the hour is fixed.
That
and he had a dream. He had a dream.
Because
this is where we're always gonna run into problems, because you're always, no matter what evidence we give you, you're gonna twist them, because it very clearly says you guys agreed that the time is fixed, and then in his dream, Allah clearly told him, I have delayed the day of judgment just for you, Qasim, so that you can chase girls.
Brother Jafar, that's a Sahih hadith too.
Directly
after the mouth of the
no,
Prophet.
the Sahih hadith, the Sahih hadith. If you look into Sahih hadith, the wording, Mubarak pointed this out. Rasul said the wording is, if this were to happen, I would delay. Basically emphasizing that these things are going to happen no matter what. Right? It did not say Allah is going to delay the day of judgment. It did not say that. But Muhammad Qasim contradicts that hadith by him saying specifically, Allah saying, I have done this already. I have delayed the day of judgment just for you, Qasim, even though you don't obey me by growing a beard, even though you don't even pray to me like I command you to, so that you can chase girls. Like, you got to step back and think about that. Like, how does if I came and said, Allah came to me and he told me this and that.
Not just if, it says even if a day
if in English, in
Even
Arabic, when you have
even
the
if a
if,
day is
it's
left,
a
it will be
conditional
accepted.
statement, as if you're saying, okay, and does it say I will? Does it say it's going to happen?
The Arabic.
Does it say
Let's
that
let's
he's
just
going
get
to
down
delay
Arabic.
things?
That's like saying
Let's get down to the Arabic.
Allah says that the Romans will again
Let's just
be victorious within 3 to 9 years. Yeah, it's like the
and
same
Rasulullah
argument.
sallallahu
Then somebody could
alaihi wasallam
question,
made
did
a
Allah not know
dua
when the Romans would
Brother,
win?
to give
brother,
Okay,
half a day.
let me just say let
hold
me
on,
just jump in here
hold
real
on.
quick.
All right,
I know
Brother
because
Salah has a question.
we're getting on. Let me just say this real quick. We're getting
Go ahead.
we've been going for what, this is almost 3 hours now. So I feel like what we should do, honor our guests. What we will do is let us I believe one brother was in the chat and wanted to ask a question. Let's let them have their if they want to say a final statement or something, or get, because I know we've been jumping in and cutting each other off and all these things. So especially my brother Muhammad here, I can see the frustration on his face because he really wants to get into these hadiths and stuff. But it's not that we don't like hadiths. We love
My boy,
hadiths.
Brother Johnson, you haven't even proved the
No,
hadith, the verses that I gave you.
hey, listen, that's what I'm saying. We're gonna give we're gonna give you the floor and let you say whatever it is that you want to just clearly get off, and we won't interrupt, we won't stop you. But at some point in time, at least for this stream, I personally enjoyed it. I would like to have you on again. I tried to warn you, I get a little tense sometimes. I got to work on that. I got to work on toning it down. So I apologize. But I feel like we should give you guys the floor and let you say whatever it is that you need to say. And then we will try to sit and listen, and then try to let it sink in before responding. And I think that's how we should
the show, inshallah.
Yeah, let's let Brother Salah ask his question first.
going.
Since
So yeah, let's let Salat go,
Salat.
and then we'll
That's the
let our
perfect way
three
to do it.
guests have their say, and when they're done, and then we'll wrap up, inshallah.
All right, inshallah. All right, Brother Salah, you're on the air.
Oh, assalamu alaikum, guys.
Wa alaikum salam. You broke up a little bit, I think. Can you guys hear him? Brother Salat, we can't hear you, Brother Salat. Maybe yeah, you're breaking up. Can you type your
this conversation go anywhere as
Yeah.
can you type it in the in the chat, and we'll post it up there, because like we can't hear you, or at least I
You're
can't.
breaking. Yeah.
Yeah, Brother Salat, type it in the chat, and I'll post it on the screen.
Hey,
and we'll go
can
from
you
there.
guys hear me now?
But yeah, you guys had the floor, and again, I've been disruptive. You're right. This conversation hasn't gone, but you know what we'll do. I think what we should do for next time, if you guys want to come back or want to keep on engaging, is
Listen, we will keep on
shrink
engaging
down
with you
the
guys,
topic
but this gotta
to
go
like
somewhere,
something
man.
very, very, very specific, and then we'll just talk about that. That way we don't go left and right all over the place. We'll set like time limits on how long we can speak. You know what I mean? It's like we'll say like whatever we agree on. That way there's no one interrupting. That way we can get Said or Fan to talk, and because of the lag, we have to like wait for his thing to catch up. So that'll give him time to be able to speak, and it'll be more organized.
He's saying
that
that
way.
you guys haven't muted. That's what he's
not
showing
muted.
here.
He's not muted. Like I can mute him right now, which turns red, and unmute him. And like, can you guys see his screen at the bottom of the?
I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Mubarak, you muted, I think.
But yeah, Brother Mubarak's trying to speak, but I can't hear him.
Oh yeah, I guess it might have to do with the lag or whatever, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just want to end. I just want to I guess you guys give us the floor to just say last.
Yeah, go ahead, and if Salat posts his question, I'll post it on the screen, and then we go. But you guys go ahead. You guys got the floor.
So first of all, I just want to thank you guys. We really appreciate you guys just even bringing us on. You've done a lot more than a lot of people actually reached out to, and actually investigated a lot more. And I think that's very commemorable and honorable, right? Just the fact is, you're doing this from a good place, right? A place that, hey, you're my brother in Islam, and I care for you, and I love you, and I want the best for you. And what I want to say is that we also trying to do this from the same place too, right? Where you guys are all our brothers in Islam, and we love you and care for you, and we all have the same thing, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah, right? And ultimately, we all want to end up in Jannah together, inshallah, right? That's our final goal. So what you guys done already is that you've at least looked into the message, right? Of what he said. If it's truthful, then and if Allah is really telling him this stuff, then no matter whether we like it or we don't like it, it's gonna happen. If it's not truthful, right, then no matter if we like it or we don't like it, it's not gonna happen, right? So there is no difference. What I think is our responsibility as a Muslim, though, is just to have people awareness of it. Because if it's awareness, especially in the volatile time that we're in, right? If people could actually see something in the future and like a warning, and they could take heed, right? We're not saying go do anything. We're saying pay attention to what's going on around you, right? So if you could see certain things and read certain signs, almost like Andrew says the best. There's a matrix, right? You could see that we're in this Dajjalic system, and the Dajjal is setting up a stage for. Then this is according to what the Prophet said, right? Before he comes out, the people are going to be in Jahiliyyah, right? The Ummah is going to be weak. So if you can see that and warn people about that before certain events happen, then if the events start unfolding, maybe certain actions could be taken to protect ourselves and our iman and our family. And that's ultimately what I have to say.
Alhamdulillah. Good message. Good
Appreciate you.
information.
Barakallahu feek.
Well, yeah. Hamid, do you want to say anything?
Yeah. So basically, going off what Brother Mustafa said, we're all here. We're trying to seek the truth, and alhamdulillah, we learned a lot from you. Hope you guys learned some stuff from us as well. Ultimately, I didn't. I thought the discussion would be more about the Mahdi and the hadiths. You guys asked more about Brother Qasim. So next time, if you guys could be more specific about the topics, then we would have all that prepared, inshallah. Because even on the poster was written Mahdi and Dajjal and other things. We did not even get to that. But going off what Brother Mustafa said, if so, we have basically a lot to lose if the dreams they do not come true. Then yeah, we would say it. We would say it openly that we are like our message was a lie. And I think I don't know who it was, but some of you have an experience with a cult as well, right? And I'm not sure who it was, but one of the brothers was telling me, and we'll come out. We'll say that we're in the wrong. We don't just follow blindly. We have the hadith and we have the Quran. But I'm hoping for you guys, if you guys are seeing the dreams coming true and everything going in the direction that has been shown to Bro Qasim, I hope you guys can see what we see.
Yeah. And just I want to say one last closing thing is that sometimes we have to get past the actual physical features and see what's being said. Ultimately, the message is tawheed and avoiding shirk, right? So personally, I had a lot of action figures. Like I was just into that stuff, and I had it all over my house. And even according to the hadith and so even the scholars asking about this, is this permissible? All the scholars I asked said this is not permissible. So I had them removed specifically from my house, and it is better for me. So in the end of the day, all of us are trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're trying to attain Jannah, and we're trying to go down the right path, right? We can differ on little things, and that's for the ulama, right? But ultimately, I think unity is what's needed the most in Islam today.
I mean. So I don't think we have anything else. I want to thank you all for coming on. It was kind of disorganized, so I apologize. That's kind of my job to do, is to organize the thing. So next time, inshallah, I'll have it organized for everyone there. Oh yes, please go ahead.
Say your fan wants to go.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, fine. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I think the lag has caused a lot of problems. I think I really appreciate your approach. You've been really patient and you listened to us and you even took down the that you had, and it's really come to a conclusion. But we also need to look at the positives that we already agree on a lot of things. And when we talk about his dreams being part of Islam, I didn't mean that Sharia is coming from it. I'm just saying his message is already there in Islam. He's not bringing anything new. So when avoiding shirk, it's basic message of every Makki surah. So you've got basic messages. Number one message is to avoid shirk, the Risalat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and number three is Jannat and Jahannam. So paradise, we are not bringing anything new. And as far as your concern is that you want to believe when the event of Beda occurs, fine, that's fine. Because a lot of Muslims, a lot of Sahaba, they came after was conquered, and Khalid bin Walid was not also one of the earlier followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He came in late, but he was the great Sahabas that we know of. So we need to understand that we don't need to be overzealous about this. Our job is to just, and our job is not to make people believe, just to get the message across. And I want you guys to also understand that a lot. When you see Rasulullah and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is commanding you think, then you don't really have an option, then you have to do it. I agree that it's not hujjat on you, but for the person to that. And as far as Muhammad Qasim is concerned, yes, he does his sins and he has his shortcomings, and we're not going to defend that. We're not going to change that Salah is not part of Deen. We agree that it is Deen, and we agree that keeping your beard is wajib. But this is something that inshallah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will do islah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will rectify it when that special night comes. But as for now, you think in terms of options, in terms of understanding, this is a possibility. I'm not saying believe in my view, but I am saying that this is true, that he is at this stage right now, and take as not just confirmed and final evidence, but take it from the perspective that this could come one of the ways in which you can look at the puzzle. And when you try and fit in all the pieces, you may arrive at a conclusion, right? So there are scholars, I shared a YouTube link, and this is Khalid bin Ibrahim, and there's another scholar, Salahuddin bin Ibrahim, view that the hadith name, it cannot be Muhammad bin Abdullah, because that would be exactly the same. And he cites that iron is not a similar to iron, because iron is exactly the same as iron. So he says to it. And you need to understand that some people, even Umar bin Abdul Aziz, was the Mahdi, because they thought that his father's name was Aziz was similar to Abdullah. And a lot of people get called Abdullah in Makkah and Medina. It's mosque. A lot of people, if you don't know the name, they just call Abdullah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to make you force you a conclusion, but I'm just trying to say that when you read, you see that these signs do fit him. So eventually, even if that, it's your choice when you want to leave. Maybe some people will believe, will come down and you're going to pray behind him. So that's going to be their point of belief. Some people will believe of the event of Veda. People will believe early, and we know that a lot of people will be believing because people from the east will pave way for him. There are signs that people will believe. If he's running in Medina, so people know that he's Imam Mahdi. Otherwise, if no one knows me, why would I run? And people to give bayah already know he's Imam Mahdi. Nobody knew he was Imam Mahdi, then why would they pull out some random person? And then when they're giving him bayah, people know that he's Imam Mahdi, because no one would forcefully give bayah if they don't know that he's Imam Mahdi. And the black standards which are meant, and specific instructions that you go crawl over ice if you have to, because within them is Mahdi. So these black standards, these people, they already know that he's Imam Mahdi. So we need to understand that people will recognize before also, whether dreams, whether through signs, through the event of Veda, everyone will have their own belief system. And no one can make a fake Mahdi into a Mahdi, and everyone can gather in the world and they will not be able to Mahdi, and everyone they cannot remove that status from it. So I would just end it with this, and I would really appreciate you guys to you allowed me to speak. It was at the end, but I would really appreciate it, and you've been listening patiently. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Is there anything that you guys want to say?
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick. I haven't gotten to speak much, but I do really appreciate you guys.
Likewise.
Like I said, we've been dealing with some other particular cults and situations, and no one has shown the sincerity as you three brothers have, even up to this point, and we respect that and appreciate that. Of course, we can differ on certain positions and stuff like that, but we can sense sincerity from you guys. You know, we know that you guys mean well. Pretty healthy dialogue, and we apologize for Brother Saeed not being able to speak more. And yeah, we just really appreciate you guys actually having the courage and the faith and the strength to kind of come up here and just have open dialogue, comfortable about what we're talking about. And at the end of the day, we're all just trying to get to the truth. We're all trying to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as best as we can. We try to make good intentions to do so. And, we're happy that you guys was able to join us here tonight. So.
I mean, very well said. I'll end with this hadith from Anas ibn Malik. The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, "Seeking knowledge is an obligation upon every Muslim." All right, so it's something that we all know. So I appreciate y'all for taking the time to learn your Islam, to study about stuff, and come to an informed decision of your own. This is something that we try to do as well as Muslims, just come to our own understanding and to search more, do more research. All right. So with that, I'll close. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun. Wa salamun alal mursalin. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shukran, you guys. Inshallah, we'll be together soon.
Sounds good. If you guys want to do this again, we'll be more than happy to come on.
Absolutely.
We'll get it more organized next time, inshallah.
All
All right.
All right.